I'm not a martyr. I don't want to be a martyr. I'm just a disciple. Because I want to carry forward the
mantle.
The injiri. Not when dead. So I want someone to present that they tore the thing of the Virgin Mary. Really. And I want to know what happens when these people are found out to have been lying. What will happen?
But yet again, Katolu Wama says these allegations he actually couldn't qualify them. He says
he didn't see.
He didn't see.
But others
there were police officers and possibly saying they should identify themselves.
They said those masquerading.
Those who masquerade again.
Police officers were soldiers masquerading. Now,
and they should identify themselves.
First of all, how would you know
a soldier?
A soldier masquerading. Now, General Kale Kaihura, is he masquerading as a policeman?
Because he's a soldier.
So where is the dividing line?
You're talking about that.
General Kale Kaihura masquerading as a policeman?
Because we know him as a soldier, he's a general in
was
the army.
General Edward Wamala Katumba masquerading as a policeman?
When was the IGP?
What are we playing with? So I think even those who want to identify, they could be wasting their time. The way modern armed forces are trained, it's a matter of deployment. Yagenda, go and start imprisoning people. Then you become a commissioner of prisons. And you do work in Luzira. The following week there's a battle. They say, get out, you are now a colonel in UPDF. You will still do the work. So what is this excitement of that these ugly faces that we saw this the other day? Charge them with an offense. That these people entered here and prevented us from deliberating on issues. I think that's what SFC should plead guilty of. Assuming they were SFC. SFC should plead guilty if they are charged with having stopped Parliament from debating.
Okay, Tony Jofrowana, before we connect to Philip Aguta and Jackson Onyango, who are now standing in Parliament, we will just also want to see what Professor Ogenga Latigo and others actually had to say yesterday. Let's get you another interview. And of course, because this was not actually on the floor of Parliament, we want to see also the back scenes just right there, because our team was very active to find out who was actually saying what at the time. We will also have another interview before we get the connection with Jackson Onyango. We're just seeing members of Parliament in here coming slowly by slowly. The House is not very full like it was, and we just think that the excitement possibly is reducing a little, because on Monday, at such a time, the House was full to capacity. 80% had actually occupied their seats, but they're now
I'm
coming
surprised
in slowly
that
by
no
slowly.
one asked whether all those are MPs.
Meaning?
The House being full, because it is abnormal for the House to be full.
Okay.
Did anyone ask whether all those are MPs?
When they all came, when they all turned up.
Yes, because some we are strangers.
Some could have just slipped and sneaked in. Well, today the turn-up is actually just building up. They're not as many as they've always been, but nonetheless, if the Speaker comes in, then the business commences, and all the others will find the House into business and debating, and they will join when they come in. Let's also get this interview that our reporter had yesterday with another member of Parliament, Honorable Ogenga Latigo. Let's hear from you.
The August House of Uganda. Of course, Parliament today continue with the deliberations on the Constitutional Amendment Bill 2017 that some people have dubbed the age limit bill. Of course, this is because of what they are saying. The bill is meant to lift the age limit or to remove the age cap, which is at 75, to enable President Yoweri Museveni to contest again. But of course, the one who tabled the bill, Honorable Raphael Majezi, said that is not the case. But as Parliament kicked off business this morning, it was suspended prematurely because another issue came up that security had been deployed at Parliament, including army men, and so the Speaker to suspend the session until that matter is verified. But on me, right now I'm going to speak to Honorable Ogenga Latigo just to tell us maybe what could have happened on the floor and that ended up to this situation. Good afternoon, Honorable.
Good afternoon to you.
Yes, of course, now today again the session began, but it was prematurely suspended. Maybe if the viewer can understand from you as Honorable, what led to this situation?
Well, basically, the suspension arose from a matter that the chair of our Catholic chaplaincy raised when the speaker allowed her to do. Actually, coincidentally, at that time, the speaker had allowed the Minister of Defense, Honorable Adolf Mwesige, to make his contribution, after which I was supposed to follow. And then, unfortunately, our chair of the chaplaincy said, we have soldiers. I went there to clean the chapel so that we would have mass at 1. We went there, and the cleaner said, no, there are soldiers in that place, and they have not allowed me to clean the place. And when this information arose, another member in his, I think, stupidity, gets up to say that the soldiers were there to pray. And that obviously inflamed the passion. Honorable Odongoto is an ex-seminarian. And when you talk about the Catholic Church, you touch raw nerves. So he went violent.
But Honorable, has this been verified as to whether it was...
It's true. We don't even have to verify. In fact, earlier in the day, we were informed that there were extra deployment. We didn't know where the deployment was. It looks like these people were brought at night and put in the church because they ate there. You saw the plates that the members brought. They were even using themselves within there because they couldn't get out.
So the afternoon session, are we expecting to go on normally? Or?
Well, the speaker said that she would suspend the sitting to go and verify.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Jackson Onyango and Professor Okenga Latigo. Attorney Geoffrey Wanam. Parliament is convening and, well, it's not full to capacity as I can actually look through here to see what is actually happening in Parliament, and I think the speaker is actually coming. Finally, before we let the people get to Parliament.
You heard Dr. Latigo. The people they accuse of having invaded their chaplaincy, we are easing themselves there. There must be evidence to that. And if there is, that is a serious matter. If there isn't, I will be very unhappy to discover that Honorable Latigo has joined that group.
Of people who just...
I don't want to add any titles, but okay. He shouldn't belong to that category. Easing themselves there because they couldn't get out. That means they were locked in. Who has the key? Latigo said that when their chaplain went to open to clean, he found them there. And so that they couldn't get out because they wouldn't get out to ease themselves because they were locked there. By who?
Who locked them in? When did they access? Okay, well, very shortly.
I told you that one of those MPs is the one who screamed, UPDF is going to attack Sudan. They are even camped at Aswa Ranch. I'm telling you.
Okay, thank you so much. Very briefly, we can now see Parliament convening. The Speaker of Parliament, the Right Honourable Rebecca Aditwala Kadaga, has actually now taken her seat to again continue moderating today's session to again take the count from 73 that debated yesterday. Let's see how business goes on today. Now, we just want to welcome you to the National Assembly on this day as the debate for the Constitutional Amendment Bill number 12, 2017 carries on. Welcome to Parliament this morning. My name is Jagenda Semakula Zikusoka. I'm Tony Geoffrey Wanam. Good morning. Gentlemen, as you can see, like we Adaron told you, Tony Geoffrey Wanam, you're just actually commenting and saying, could the opposition actually have abdicated today's sitting because they are not full to capacity as it is?
No, their chief whip like this one has whipped them into action, and today the speaker asked them to come back today in large numbers because it is polling day. Yes.
Do you think those who spoke yesterday, many of them will return, or some will say, I gave my contribution? And
No. This is a defining moment. People want to be seen in these pictures.
It's a defining moment, yes, but
Yes.
isn't it surprising that the turn-up is actually not as it was before all this discussion started?
They will trickle in. People want to be there, to be seen there, except for the others who had strategized that they would cripple Parliament if it was brought. Those don't want to be there, and they are lucky they will not be there. I want to remind everyone that the Speaker had warned that those who had been convicted and suspended the other time, if they risked doing it again, they would be punished with a longer suspension. And that's what happened. But some people are saying she should have done this. No.
Yeah, is it also a part of their rules, or the Speaker just wants to use her powers to actually do that? Is it allowed for? Because I think she can be taken on as well.
Let them take her on. Yes. Instead of saying she can't, let them take her on. They are the people who pass those laws, and they are the ones who face them, break them, and pay the penalty. So for me, it's real up to them. If they think that the Speaker's warning can be ignored, I saw the Honorable Kasivante saying that she should have just ignored us.
Oh, is that so?
Yes.
That's what Honorable Kasivante said.
Yes. He should have. He's one of your MPs also. I
No,
know.
in Rubaga, I moved from Rubaga.
No, Rubaga is the capital town of Uganda.
Yeah,
yes.
but I don't want to identify with Rubaga. like my birthplace in Salama, so, which is in actually much in the west. That's where it is.
When you look at the former MPs of that area, what do you think?
No, there is a problem now, but what do we do?
In 1980 to 85, we had John Sevana Chisto.
John Savannah is to
Yes. Among others we've had in that area is Benedict Mutiava. Where is Benedict?
I don't know where Benedict is. Savannah's gone. Nsambu went.
We have had Michael Mavike.
Michael Mavike, actually. I think Michael Mavike was the last of those good ones that I could say.
Now you have the cream. Now you have reached the cream.
We know. No, it's about we know now. Well, but that's what it is. You can see members of parliament. The Speaker is in the house. Technically here, we're trying to find very good sound for you. That is coming in from parliament. But as you can see, that is now happening now, live in parliament. And the only thing that our technical team is working on here is to get you the sound, because this is about seeing and actually hearing.
So with me, when I see that full house, I think business is going to move. And yesterday, someone commented that people who are not, who don't shout, when they present, you get amazed. For me, all along, I thought that this struggle would be about, it should be ended with fighting. But people really have reasons for and against. Sounding reasons. Yes.
Which is actually the best thing to do.
Which
and
we
that's
would
what
have
members
missed
of
out
parliament-
on if we had allowed that situation of talking with microphone stands to prevail. Yes.
Did you hear the Honorable Tom Butime when he also gave his submissions and said these reports have these
Yes.
from
Colonel Tom Butime is thorough. First of all, he's a journalist. He used to work here many years ago. Then he went to the bush. He's a highly trained intelligence gatherer and has also practiced the craft of intelligence. He has served in various capacities. Now, when that person says he has a unique way of gathering opinions, that's why he ended up telling you that he even has a district resolution from Muvende, where one of the
Honorable
MPs
Mboteka Mwakamso
says no one wants. So now Mboteka presents no one wants with gesticulations and facial.
How about Honorable the Honorable from Kabalore from Port Fort who said he met I think
Ruhunda.
11 constituencies, and all of them said, and actually even brought another proposal saying they need to engage the president to actually talk to him about how he can do the transition, leave power, because he really feels he loves him, and the longer he continues, the more problems he might actually get. So he wants to find a good way to see him exit the scene.
Honorable Ruhunda admitted also having been inspired by his own priests. And you know, priests don't usually discuss, they preach. If they allowed a discussion from the pulpit, the services would never end. So when your bishop calls you and says, those who want to change the age limit are greedy, like Archbishop Dama is said to have stated. If you are a good Catholic from that diocese, you rather keep quiet. Okay? So it cannot have been a discussion. Honorable Ruhunda was told by his spiritual fathers what to do.
Don't do that.
And if you compare the number of spiritual fathers to the sheep, and the opinion of the sheep could be different, but the sheep are not as powerful as the shepherd. So if I was him, I wouldn't quote the spiritual fathers, because they have already spoken by themselves at other fora. And that shows you how harmful these things can be. One time I was at a show and the discussion was on condoms. So I told the moderator, you are a Catholic, would you oppose a priest who says condoms are not useful? See, I said, now you see, you who fears AIDS,
You want to use a condom.
you rather keep your condoms in your pocket quietly.
Yeah, but when the priest talks
Don't
about
oppose
it,
the priest that, you father, you are lying. Keep quiet. And that's what happens in politics. You can no longer now say as a priest that vote this one. No, they will bow down in obeisance to you out of respect, and they will vote differently.
Did you also hear about some secession talk from a member of parliament, Okumu, Regan Okumu, who talks about secession and says we've been kept behind for this long time, and I think we have the capacities to actually govern and manage our own issues. So if you choose to go that way, he's talking about secession, and he was rebutted by Honorable Musa Echweru, who said you can talk about these secession issues.
Was he
I'm
talking
seeing this in
about
Kenya.
Aswa, his
Yes.
constituency?
Possibly. He's talking about his constituency or his district or his region. I really do not know when he talks about secession.
I think, with due respect, when I heard the Honorable Echweru's response, it shows you what we have gone through. There's a feeling that Joseph Kony was exporting certain troubles to another region. And that was very important during the Arrow group mobilization. There was a tendency to think, and I think wrongly, that the Kony problem is probably an Acholi problem. So it should not be allowed into Teso. You see that? And that's why Echweru responded and saying, we stopped some people the other time. You see that? And Kony preached secession for a long time. He preached it for a long time. Yes. So I see probably a re-emergence of those tendencies. One time during CA, I think it is the late Teberio Kenyi, who was talking of the possibility of a Nile Republic. Now the problem is, it's easy to say it, but where do you draw the lines? At Karuma?
Yeah, possibly
When
Karuma.
you draw it at Karuma, then you'll have a war between, say, the Langi and the Acholi. When groups were coming to overthrow President Obote, they passed through Lango, and the things they did there weren't very good. But they were now dealing with them as Langi. So what Nile Republic would that be? In 1980, there was a deliberate effort to make sure that a certain part of the UNLA does not enter West Nile, because of the fear that it could do reprisal killings. Indeed, when it did cross, things happened. So is that now the republic we are talking about? People have differences everywhere. Now you don't want to be in Makindye because your MP is making you
But
unhappy.
do I have
Should
where
you
to go?
secede?
No. That's where I am.
I think certain things.
Yeah.
But it should be noted with concern. Yes. One time even Honorable Mao spoke about it. You remember?
Secession.
Yes. But it also says a lot about what NRM has done over the years. Who came out as the best chairman? Mapenduzi.
Mapenduzi.
And for the nth time. That means that over the years, despite that time of war, the government has enabled northern Uganda not only to recover, but to stride ahead, to the extent that Honorable Reagan is no longer very anxious to have a flat in Kampala. He can,
He can actually manage it there.
And stay there.
And stay there and
That is
actually
evidence
have everything
That
just
is
right there.
evidence of progress. When you have nothing, you don't want to leave.
Another member of parliament talked about national dialogue, saying because this issue has actually torn the country apart on both divides. Those who say tujikwateko and those who say tujikwatako, they need to heal. And he's talking about national dialogue. And I think this has actually been what many of the religious leaders are talking about, national dialogue, national dialogue, national dialogue.
No.
Yes.
First
Now,
of all,
because of what is happening, we still talk about national dialogue.
You mentioned, first of all, Honorable Ruhunda's proposal that they should go to the president and ask him to do what?
To gracefully give up power. They need to talk to him about.
Should he give up power while in power, or what are the?
I think to convince him not to stand in 2021.
Let them go and do that.
They want the guidance of the speaker.
But
I think
let
they should
them
be
do
like
it as NRM.
not asking the House to do it for them.
No, because there are people in that parliament who have never wanted Museveni to rule them. So how can they be part of a delegation that negotiates with him? So I think Ruhunda should propose that to his party. And that's what General Tumukunde said, that it seems you people think we don't have capacity to elect our leaders. Don't help us. We have capacity to elect our leaders, and we shall do so when the time comes. So Ruhunda should take that proposal to NRM. In parliament, there are people who would rather vote for Museveni's death. So how can they be part of a discussion? So I think let NRM handle that. But we cannot put Museveni in the constitution that the parliament resolved that it be put in the constitution that we are going to talk to.
But it's unanswered now. It's unanswered that
Yes,
we go.
yes, but is it going to be an act?
Of course, it can be an act. It's just it subsidizes. It just accompanies the discussion that is going on.
But you see, they are ignoring the voters. Yes. Make sure the voters are also with you.
Okay. Okay, well, we thank you so much, and think we now finally have the audio coming in from Parliament here. Welcome to Parliament, and let's hear what the legislators they have to say. Good morning.
With ways and means of making sure that there is a placement of our youthful and educated youth in gainful employment to be able to bring this country to better levels as a nation. I want to thank you so much, all of us, for the duty that you're doing to representing the views of those that entrusted you, the ones that entrusted. Thank you so much for God and my country. No, Vyarugaba. Ona Vyarugaba, Alex Vyarugaba, then Ingabirano. Right, Honorable Speaker, honorable colleagues, I want to thank you all for giving each other an opportunity to express the views of his or her constituents. I take the honor and opportunity, Madam Speaker, to share with you the views of the people of Isinjo South. I was privileged to participate in the constitution-making exercise. One of the very few now remaining around. I take it as a privilege and honor. I am so cognizant of the time we took, especially on Article 1. Of all the articles, let me tell you, honorable colleagues, Article 1 took us much more time to formulate, construct, and put it the way it is. It is so instructive. It was so clear and took us a lot of effort of lobbying to put in place. I respect it because it is very instructive. It was on that basis that I took my consultative meetings to the 5 sub-counties in my constituency. The population is about 220,000 people. I did traverse all the sub-counties. I did collect the following, that yes, sometime in the parliament where I was not, term limits were removed. They instructed me to go, come back and share with you, honorable colleagues, that we must keep this country together, that term limits must be reinstated and entrenched, like we didn't do, because we had not done the same that other time. Number 2, they said, we should go ahead and reconstruct and amend Article 102B. And they gave me reasons. In Nyachitunda sub-county, one young man who was actually supporting me, whom I also supported, and I wanted him to become the chairman of LOC3. When he went to the registration desk, we were told, and I had really forgotten about it. Do not look only at the presidential level. We are affecting people at that local level. If you are less than 30, you are not going to be a chairman of LOC3. Really, if we want to contest for chairmanship of LOC5, you will not make it because you are less than 35 years. And remember, the majority of our people today, the biggest percentage of our people are the youth. Honorable Adeke, look at her, fantastic, contributing fantastically. Why do we want to deny such a people an opportunity to operate, to lead us, to participate in the leadership of this country? At LOC3, at LOC5 level, and even at the presidential level. My father, I am the firstborn of my father. He is over 85. My father drives a vehicle. My father has 4 wives. For goodness sake. Yes. How do you say he is now useless? He runs his family of about 60 children and still commands fantastic respect. We need everybody on board. We have not run, we don't have an excess of talented leaders. We don't have an excess of talented leaders. And this is the reason why I think we should bring everybody on board. Finally, and towards the final, I want to ask my honorable colleagues, those of you who are talking about we will succeed if this motion fails. At Makerere, I was in Livingston Hall. I had friends in Lumumba. Whenever we had sports activities, these guys from Lumumba would try to bully us, and they would go around singing, we either win or they lose. For goodness sake, are you going in for that kind of contest? We either win or they lose? No, that's not correct, honorable colleagues. We need Uganda as one professor. I know I respect you so much. I respect everybody. Honorable Yenda is a...
No. But honor members, I'm going now to reduce to 3 minutes so that we get more members. Three.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I thank you for this opportunity you've given me. And I want to inform this House that, Right Honorable Speaker, I did consult my people in Rwampara effectively and got their responses. Right Honorable Speaker, I also took time to read some literature, especially during the time of the CA about this amendment 102B. I looked at very good views of great leaders then and found that actually this amendment, this one was introduced in the Constitution amid some serious opposition. Therefore, this is the time, Right Honorable Speaker, to rectify that anomaly. Right Honorable Speaker, my constituents were very clear on this. We are not using the word discrimination, but we are using the word denying people their own rights. At LOC5 level, Right Honorable Speaker, and LOC3, we have many people who would like to contest who are below 35 years and above 75 years. This one denies them their rights as human beings, as Ugandans. We have people, Right Honorable Speaker, who vote. We all go and vote, and all the legally voting people of Uganda should be allowed to stand in all offices. Therefore, Right Honorable Speaker, the people of Rwampara, the majority of them, allowed me and requested me to come here and amend. They supported all the bill that was presented to them. Therefore, I will unequivocally go by that, and I will clearly vote a yes and support the majority report. Without any fear or favor, I will support that one because I was instructed. Right Honorable Speaker, I have some few people who did not support the motion and they want their views to be listened to. The majority of the people, of course, who are the minority, who did not want us to amend, we are mainly looking at the issues of development. They are using this chance to tell us that we are doing too much politicking. They told me that we must concentrate on development, we must fight poverty, we must fight unemployment. Therefore, Right Honorable Speaker, my view is, as my people told me, we are doing too much politics in this country. Let's do all the amendments, finish them, and go for development. That's what they told me. Time for politics is over, even if it means for them they are not bothered about who rules them. Every person who is legally mature to vote in this country should be voted, but we should now go to politics of production, politics of employment, politics of wealth creation and prosperity. Therefore, Right Honorable Speaker and my colleagues, I urge you that we do touch, we do amend, and concentrate on development. It is a shame for us as a country with good weather, with good climate, that we are not productive. We are languishing in poverty. We don't have enough food. Therefore, Right Honorable Speaker, let us finish the issue of legislation. Let us finish the amendments and we will allocate our resources and efforts to developing this country. This country is great for us. The issue is not about who rules us. The issue is not about the age of the president, the age of the speaker, the age of the LC chairman. The issues are the issues of development. Therefore, Right Honorable Speaker, you very well know that I don't have the tendency of...
Honorable Nsamba, Sechikubo, going this side. Remember, you cannot all speak at the same time. Please take your seat. Even in cabinet, you don't all speak at the same time.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker and honorable colleagues. I bring you greetings from Kasanda North. Majority of our people, as Right Honorable Speaker, are members of the NRM party. During my consultations, majority told me they have no problem with amending the Constitution. But they told me I should never ever support the amendment of Article 102B. Madam Speaker, our consultations were held at parish level, and I held meetings in 21 parishes. None of the parishes supported the amendment. I went ahead to consult sub-county leadership and the NRM structures, where I even invited the woman MP from Mubende to come and do the popularization of the amendment. But people still said no to amendment of 102B. I hereby report, Right Honorable Speaker, that the people of Kasanda North are against amending Article 102B. I want to thank the members of the NRM who have come to stand up and come here and represent the views of the people that they represent. The sacrifices you're making are nearing those of Ugandans who chose to sacrifice 5 years in the bush for the sake of Uganda. How I wish those sacrifices were rewarded with sustainable peace, and good governance. Madam Speaker, I don't subscribe to the view that my party, NRM, is under-resourced in terms of leaders. There is a lie that there is no other person within the party that can take the country forward. I still believe that within the party, the NRM, over the years, we have nurtured leaders who can perform even better than the person we are trying to amend this constitution for. Madam Speaker, Honorable Majeza and the team did not only rob this country of a debate on transition, but curtailed the same within the NRM party. They have misinformed the country that the only viable transition is from President Museveni to President Museveni.
Honorable Sechkubo.
Members of NRM, especially you, whose constituents have said don't amend, do not succumb to fear. I'm calling upon you. In any case, as the Bush War veterans made sacrifices, we must also make sacrifices today when this country needs us. This decision, members, is not about how much you fear the regime, nor about safeguarding your constituency. It is rather about how much you love this country. It is rather about thinking about the future of this country. Madam Speaker, as I conclude, religious leaders have spoken against this amendment. Cultural leaders have spoken, especially the Kabaka of Uganda, where I come from. Senior citizens have aired their views. Members of Parliament, we must listen to the voices and keep dismissing like a trap. We must keep and stand, otherwise we will regret this situation. Madam Speaker, I have proved that whenever we are doing... Madam Speaker, this process has proved to us.
Honorable Sechkubo. Ndakuida. I'll come. Mulinde. Yeah, then I'll go that side.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker and members, each parliament has its mission. Honorable members, I know the climax of the 10th parliament is this bill. Whether you like it or not, the definition of the 10th parliament is going to be about how the 10th parliament handled the constitution amendment bill introduced by Honorable Raphael Magezi. Right Honorable Speaker, this is the time. You know, when you look at our past, as ably put by our constitution, how do we want this country to be? How do we want this country to be? For me, I come from this side, and I would like to be challenged by any member here. I've been here for a while, and I've seen members come and go. And I've heard the promises of the many rooms in the Father's house. Now, whether those have materialized or not, that's a different matter. But now we have a mission to discharge as the 10th Parliament. Right Honorable Speaker, Uganda has had a checkered past, but was probably not as brutalized
as some other countries like South Africa. Because whereas we had to fight a liberation war, South Africa had to contend with apartheid. But the apartheid icon, Nelson Mandela, just had one term and has since passed on power to the subsequent leaders. And South Africa hasn't been dented by that apartheid past. How about Uganda? Why are we hostages by a good leader, President Yoweri Museveni, who did his part? But it reaches a point when the country must move on. And that is the reality I want to call my colleagues on this side to take in and understand. Right, Honorable Speaker. I know it isn't easy. I know, and I'm calling on colleagues. Yesterday I was dumbfounded. Honorable Adolf Mwesiki insinuated that, in developed democracies, they don't have age limits. Yes, but he doesn't tell the country that they have term limits that like the US was referring to.
Oh, no. Oh, now, Kabaziguruka. Half.
Right, Honorable Speaker.
Half minute.
Right, Honorable Speaker. I call on members, and really when I saw General Tumukunde yesterday, he had his past in Parliament here. And when he opposed the lifting of term limits, he was hounded off this Parliament. Honorable Tumukunde is there. What has happened overnight now for you to preach the extended and limitless years? I want to put it on record that the people of Remiaga, and indeed the people of Uganda, once you're a member of Parliament, you speak for Remiaga and Uganda. They have an emphatic statement that the President must retire, no amendment of Article 1052. Let peace prevail. I know they'll come for you members. In our cases, they say we shall go for him, we shall take away his land, we shall impoverish him, let it be at a point in time we must give the sacrifice. I'm ready for that price to pay, but the people of Uganda must move on. President will love him so much. I should be the first one to lie on his shoes.
Ona Kabaziguruka, enjoy your team. Okupa, Mwijuke, Osege, then I come here, and then I turn here. No, he has a problem standing, I think.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, before I make my submission, I will ask that you consider to give me more time. I have been indisposed for quite long, and I haven't said much in this Parliament. Right Honorable Speaker, you sent us out to consult our constituents, and I indeed managed to consult despite the current condition. I consulted the people of Nakawa, largely in all the parishes. We have 23 parishes, and the majority of the people of Nakawa told me not to support the amendment of Article 102B. Right Honorable Speaker, I stand here to oppose the amendment. I literally stand to oppose the amendment and the report thereof, because the report and the amendment are both premised on very frivolous grounds. Right Honorable Speaker, the issue of discrimination is ably handled by the Constitution. That age is not one of the areas of discrimination. And the issue of the court rulings. Right Honorable Speaker, we have had several elections in this country that have been challenged in the Supreme Court, right from 2001, where the justices of the Supreme Court made recommendations that we make amendments to the electoral laws to enable the Electoral Commission deliver a free and fair election. It is unfortunate that at the time, the Parliament then chose to pick out or to simply amend Article 105 as the only amendment that would cause a free and fair election in this country. In 2006, the election was challenged. In 2016, the presidential election was challenged again, and the justices of the Supreme Court called upon Parliament to enact laws, to amend the electoral laws that will enable this country to have a free and fair election. It is unfortunate that the Minister for Constitutional Affairs and the Attorney General have chosen to abdicate their responsibility. It is those two that should have been in front of us here, presenting amendments for the purpose of holding free, fair, and credible elections in this country. Instead of discharging their mandate, the two gentlemen have simply jumped onto the bandwagon of an honorable member who chooses to pick one item, lifting of the age limit, as the only way we can have a free and fair election in this country. It is very unfortunate that to date, the Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs, whose contribution to this debate here was to defend himself against an accusation of sleeping in Parliament.
Honorable Bongom. Bongom Okupa. India. Let's finish with this group. I'm coming down.
Thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker. I want to thank you for giving me this opportunity. Madam Speaker, I want also to thank you for giving us the opportunity to go and consult our constituencies. Right Honorable Speaker, I got an opportunity to consult my people. Lira district has got 3 constituencies of Erute South, Erute North, and Lira municipality. I did it right Honorable Speaker, in Lira municipality alone, I had over 6,000 people in one gathering. It was unfortunate that we were tear gassed. That is a circumstance where you had the Honorable Cecilia beaten. But over 6,000 people turned up, and they gave me their information. Right Honorable Speaker, my people of Lira district said no to the amendment of Article 102B, and they said I shouldn't touch it. Right Honorable Speaker, they said term limit was not tested, but it was scrapped. They said age limit is the only safeguard that we have in this constitution if we want it to be genuine, but it is again going to be scrapped, and they are not happy for that. The promoters of this age limit are saying that Article 102 is discriminative, Right Honorable Speaker. Madam Speaker, I want to assure this House that what we are about to do as a House and as Parliament is the one that is too discriminative. Members, if we visited Article 144 of the Constitution and 143, where the civil servants have got to retire at 60 years, the judges and justices have got to resign at 60, 65, and 70. Who are we to promote the office of the president up to 75 years and above? That is unrealistic. We should be to our conscience. Right Honorable Speaker, above all, we are saying lowering the age of 35 to 18. We are saying this is unrealistic, Right Honorable Speaker. Presidential position, we are calling somebody of 18 years to come and compete, to contest with the president, an incumbent. Who is in charge of the police? The army is his. The police is his. The Electoral Commission is his. Bank of Uganda is his. And even 50 million shillings for registering to be a candidate of president. Can a person of 18 years acquire all this? It is unrealistic. I want to assure the youth of this country that you are being duped. You had a position of youth councillors. You had a position of youth MPs. But the moment we remove 35 years, I want to assure you that somebody of 70 years is going to stand as a youth councillor.
Honorable Cooper, then Mwijuke. Honorable, I reduced to... Okay, half only, half minute. Please, what can I do?
Yes, I'm telling the youth of this country that you are being duped. Somebody of 70 years is going to stand as a youth MP because there is no boundary of a youth now. Then lastly, Right Honorable Speaker, on the issue of 7 years, honorable members of parliament, let us have our conscience. We have been given this mandate. Let us stop being so selfish. The image of parliament has been tarnished beyond correction. We have been given this mandate. I know we have the power to make any laws, but any law that we are making should be blind.
Nabokupa.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Thank you, colleagues. My name is Okupa Elijah, representing the people of Kasilo County, whom I've been privileged to represent for the last 17 years. And I'm here today to present the views of the people of Kasilo once again, just like I did in 2005. Madam Speaker, honorable colleagues, I will speak the truth and nothing but the truth about the people of Kasilo County. I did consult the people of Kasilo County. Those are your words. I went to Kabulabula, Kadungulu Trading Center, Ogelak, Agule, Kamod, Arapo, Labor, Ingire, and the Kiretok Town Council. Those are the areas where I consulted the people. And they were not few people. But if I had the time, I would show you the videos of the people who I consulted. But without wasting time, first, Madam Speaker, I want to thank you because you give us opportunity. For me, it was like I was campaigning again for 2021 to give you the opportunity to go around and talk with the people. So that was the other good part of it. People were concerned about the amendments. I started with the issue of amending the age limit. Madam Speaker, there's one place which I thought I would have some votes to support. It surprised me. They said in no uncertain terms that young man, yes, can you give me time, honorable colleague? They said young man, because this was said by an old woman who was 77 years old. Please go and inform the country that we do not support. Look at my age. Challenged me. Yesterday, Honorable Kasaija was saying here and he was challenging anyone here. This old woman on human activity, Dr. Kuris is here. He told me, and I have no shame in mentioning, because he said it in public, and I told the young man, my husband is 78. There is no way you people in the parliament are going to go ahead and say, at that age, you have the stamina. Even at our age, my husband has no fire anymore. He's 77. So what are you going to do? So what are you going to do? What are you going to do? I'm reporting verbatim.
Order. Order, please. What's the problem?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, most of the people I represent, Madam Speaker, are also very religious. And they gave me a verse, because they say that even in the Bible, the age of the age limit was there. And it's in the book of Numbers, chapter 8, verse 23 to 26. And I read, this is the New International Version, that the Lord said to Moses, this applies to the Levites, men 25 years old or more shall come to take part in the work at the tent of meeting. But at the age of 50, they must retire from their regular service and work no longer. They must assist their brothers in performing their duties at the tent of the meeting, but they themselves must not do the work. This then is how you are going to assign the responsibilities of the Levites. Brothers and sisters, this is the word of God. And if we are Christians, we should be able to take this seriously. Madam Speaker, on the issue of the lower age.
Now, Mujuke Osege, then Ochen Centenary.
Thank you so much, Right Honourable Speaker.
Then I go here.
Right Honourable Speaker, I stand to support the alternative report. Some people call it minority, but whereas we refer it as a minority, it is the majority in the public. Right Honourable Speaker, I did consultations. I addressed 14 rallies in my constituency. In my constituency, Buweju County, Buweju District in Ankole sub-region. While in Buweju, the people of Buweju told me to come to the Parliament of Uganda and tell you that they are interested in peace, they are interested in development, and therefore we should not amend the Constitution. Right Honourable Speaker, I am a Christian, I am a Catholic, and more so, I got an opportunity this year to go to the Vatican and meet the Pope, and therefore I want to speak like a Catholic. Well, you can shout at me, but I want to speak as a Catholic. The religious leaders have spoken. What happened yesterday, of course, was more annoying. I have heard the Bishop of Kanungu, I have heard the Bishop of Ruwenzori, the Bishop of Potro, the Bishop of Uguru, I have heard even the Bishop here in Kampala. They have spoken, what we are doing is anti-Ugandan, it is anti-people, it is a bad amendment. Right Honourable Speaker, on the idea of extending our term, I made a contract with the people of Buweju to be in Parliament for 5 years. I cannot change that contract unless I go and consult them first. I don't want to be greedy. I don't want to be selfish as a Ugandan, as a leader. Once I have not consulted the people of Buweju, I cannot change my contract. I am here for 5 years. After 5 years, I will still go and consult them. Right, Honorable Speaker, this idea that we have projects that are not yet completed, those are not our projects. Those are government projects. We cannot come here and legislate. We cannot come here and give the country money, but we cannot say that those are projects of members of parliament. They are not. So whether you are there as a member of parliament, the projects will continue. Right, Honorable Speaker, if the presidency was a vehicle, it had been given two limits: the front brake and the rear one. In 2005, the front brakes were removed because the driver was said to be good, the car was in a good mechanical condition, and the road was also good. This time around, we are saying because the vehicle is still in a good condition, the driver still can drive, and the road is still good, we should also remove the rear brakes. This is dangerous because we shall have a driver that is driving limitlessly. Honorable Speaker, this is no time for excitement.
Honorable Secretary. No, we are still here. We are still here. Mr. Chen.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker. It hurts so much when the public refers to us as D-lists. D-lists. We are here cutting bills ranging from a price of 40 million to 300 million. Even when you are not guilty, there is no way you can say you are not guilty. Honorable colleagues, God created us above animals, and He gave us the power to reason. He gave us the ability to choose and to be responsible for the choices that we make. Today, as members of parliament, this is one choice that we have to make. Using our reason over the responsibility that has been given to us. We swore to defend this constitution. We swore to represent our people. It actually pains to see people coming here to even lie. When people told them something else, they are coming here to say different things for different reasons. What will it benefit a man if he gains the whole world and loses his own soul? You are trading your soul by coming here to tell lies. Madam Speaker, in Uganda we should get out of the thinking of strong men or strong women. We should be thinking about institutions. In Soroti district, where there are 10 sub-counties and 3 constituencies, including Dakabela, Soroti, and municipality. Not one meeting that I called did anybody raise up and say they support the amendment of Article 102B of the Constitution. Madam Speaker, there are women in Soroti district that earn a living by cracking the rock of Katine. When I went to have a meeting with them, they told me, go and tell them. If they think we have forgotten what we did some years ago, we haven't. We are going to abandon producing kids and focus on Uganda. That is a very deep statement that you cannot take for granted from a village woman. What does it show? They take it as unfair. There is nobody, no amount of washing or laundering will make this amendment look clean. The intentions are evil. The intent is wicked. It is driven by lust. It is driven by greed and selfishness. How far can we go? Madam Speaker, there is a story in the Bible of a man called Saul. When he came to be king of Israel, he had the Spirit of God. After some time, the spirit left him. And the Bible says an evil spirit took over. No, Centenary Ochen, Tumuhere Rabbi.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I stand here to present the views of the people of Kasese Municipality and to associate myself with the minority report. In the first place, the main report talks about discrimination, and I find this far-fetched and deceitful. Parliament has a program of SAGE, and I went into the mathematics of the SAGE program, which rewards an old person with 25,000 shillings per month. That means in a year, that person will be earning 300,000. And literally, it means for him to raise the 20 million nomination fees, he will take 66.6 months to just get the 20 million for nominations without soliciting for signatures. Look at an 18-year-old candidate competing with an incumbent who has access to full presidential privileges, who appoints the Electoral Commission, who appoints the judges, and will determine that the complainant is in an election dispute, be locked at his home until the mandatory period of petitioning elapses, like it was the case in the Dr. Kiza Besigye's case. So, and you expect these people to favorably compete with the incumbent. Is there any form of discrimination that is worse than this? My sister, the Member of Parliament for the PWDs, talked about the discrimination, but she forgot that Article 107C actually discriminates them on the basis of mental and physical incapacity as one of the grounds for removing a president. I would implore her to push that article be amended also, because it represents the wishes and aspirations of the constituents who sent her here instead of serving a different master. My brother-in-law, Musa Echeru, actually I remember, he went into an armed struggle, indicating that change should have taken place yesterday. But today, I was surprised yesterday at his submissions, but let me not delve into that one. The point I'm trying to make is that there is a moral question that we need to answer. The spirit behind this bill is comparable to a pharmacist who rebrands expired drugs, puts them back on the counter because there is a high demand for the drugs. We have traffic laws. We drive cars. Some of them have 300 speed. Why is it that they give us tickets for driving beyond 80 kilometers per hour? That is the safeguard we are looking for in this constitution that we are trying to defend. Members, at the moment when we have a human resource crisis, doctors, judicial officers, civil servants.
Honorable Ochen, Tumuhere, and then Rabbi, then I'm coming here.
Speaker, I rise on the floor of this parliament to raise issues that my people have told me. Madam Speaker, when you sent us for consultation, I did conduct consultation in Kapelebion County. And in Kapelebion County, I received all the people from other constituencies in Teso who are resettling there. I was able to consult 8,073 in 5 sub-counties. And the people of Kapelebion told me go and tell the people of Uganda never to touch and tamper with the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda. And only 15 associated with that move. The people of Teso, during that consultation in Kapelebiong, also told me if the team here proceeds to amend the Article 102B, they are going to start pushing for seceding from this country. This is the view of my people, not your people. This is the view of my people. The reasons why the people of Kapelebiong are advancing these views, it is because when President Museveni and the group were fighting a legitimate regime of the Uganda People's Congress, they were saying they have violated the laws. Where are they now? Where are they now? Madam Speaker, even you, when you are sitting on that chair presiding in this country, know there are people who are not happy with you and they want to damage you. They are here. Madam Speaker, it is money and the rule of gun which is destroying this country. People are being intimidated. Madam Speaker, we cannot take this country called Uganda. We cannot. And if you go ahead to amend this constitution today, Madam Speaker, this country will go to another stage that we all live to regret in this country. Madam Speaker, I am entitled a legitimate elected leader in this parliament. Madam Speaker, I want to say this. The people...
Ona Tumhere and Rabbi. Okay, half, okay. Just conclude. Close your sentence.
The warning that the people of Kapelebiong and the entire Teso is sending to the regime in power, it is enshrined in Isaiah chapter 10 from clause 1 to 4. That is the warning for the regime in power. And I call upon the UPDF, I call upon the security agencies in this country and all loving Ugandans, never to be silent, and they must all stand up and rise and confront the evilness that has taken charge in our country. Madam Speaker, thank you.
Thank you. Chumuheire, then Rabbi, then I come here. I'm coming this side.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker and the Honorable colleagues, I represent the people of Rujumbura constituency in Rukunjiri district. Now we are not going to secede. Right Honorable Speaker, I want to thank you for the opportunity that we went to consult our people on the proposed amendment in our constitution. And I went through 5 sub-counties, starting with Ruhinda, where I come from, Bugangari, Bwambara, Nyakajeme, and Buhunga. I also have 2 town councils of Kurungu and Ruerere. In all the areas I went and the rallies I addressed, people overwhelmingly rejected the proposed amendment of Article 102B of our Constitution. They want the Constitution to remain as it is. And they made a number of observations. One, Right Honorable Speaker, they questioned the rationale of every other office in this country where people retire and leave only the presidential office not to retire. We were very privileged to be addressed by young people, middle-aged people, and old people, as old as 77, who attested that they had no energy left in them to carry out strenuous work. They wondered who else could come and do it at that age. Right Honorable Speaker, they actually appreciated that most of the work that President Museveni has done has been done between when he came to presidency at the age of 42 and now at 73. So they were questioning why people of that age, and I was listening to Honorable Frank Tumwebaze yesterday when he was calculating his age when he came to Parliament. At 42, these people of that age should be aspiring to become the president, so that by the time you become 70 or 75, we have seen the good that you have done than take us to beyond 75 in the world of uncertainty. They also highlighted the young leaders of this world, like Obama in the United States of America, who apparently is my age, what he has achieved and left the presidency at that age. Madam Speaker, yesterday I heard one of our colleague ministers alluding to Western countries where they have no age limit. But he forgot, conveniently forgot, to inform the House of the young people that have led those countries, like a 39-year-old president in France, 47-year-old in America, in Britain, Prime Minister Cameron, and the others. So, they said we have enough potential in the country and we can go ahead with the young people who are less than 75 and lead this country. Madam Speaker, I would like to say from here, protest in the strongest terms the statement made by
Rabbi then Honorable Okurut, Musana, Kisa, Kahonda. Let's start with those professors. Let's start with that group first. I've seen you all.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker and honorable colleagues. I rise to present the views of the people of Bungoko County North in Mbale District. I held 6 mass consultative rallies and I was told by the people of Bungoko North overwhelmingly to come and tell this parliament and the nation that they are not in favor of lifting the age limit. Madam Speaker, the people of Bungoko North are predominantly NRM, and I was surprised that none of them came to me to say, go and touch Article 102B. Madam Speaker, I note with concern that the 2 amendments regarding the removal of limitations on presidential power have all come to fit the interests of the incumbent president. And that is a big concern because we are required to legislate in the interest of the national interests of our people. We are here, we have gone through all this trouble because we want to lift the age limit because our incumbent is threatening 75. This is very, very bad for our country. President Museveni is a dignified person. He's a respectable person by both the opposition and the NRM and all the people of Uganda. And I would request that in the light of that, all of us who are here should grant President Museveni a dignified retirement. And now is the time. Now is the time to consider helping show President Museveni that when he retires, he will remain a dignified personality and a consultant.
Then Musana.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker and Honorable Members.
You, sir, here. Kunihira. Honorable Kurut.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I first want to make a confession. I want to make a confession. Last night, I slept very well. And I slept very well because since yesterday afternoon, we went into civilized debate. We did. Both sides have been debating, and Parliament has regained its respectability. I thank both sides. Right Honorable Speaker and Honorable Members, there are 53 countries in Africa. There are 53 countries in Africa. Now, there are actually 54. Now, out of those, it is only Uganda, Mauritania, and Djibouti that have got age limits. Ivory, the upper age limit, Ivory Coast removed the 75 cap on the 30th of October 2016. What does that mean? Even the others, as we speak, Right Honorable Speaker, even the others are debating on how to remove the age, especially the upper age cap. Why? It is because they have realized that democracy is not only premised on putting the limitation on the upper and lower age limits. It is premised on other perimeters. For instance, freedom of speech and association, which is abundant in this country. For instance, but we are here talking freely. For instance, media freedom and so on. Therefore, Right Honorable Speaker, the people of Bushenyi district, whom I consulted, said they are agreeable to touching this article. What they are insisting on, Right Honorable Speaker and members, is that we in the government should make sure that we have got improved services. That is their point, and this is what we want, but otherwise they are agreeable. Right Honorable Speaker, I am a lay canon of the church, so I cannot go without quoting the Bible. The Bible tells us that everything can change. It is only the word of God that does not change. And so, Right Honorable Speaker, I ask members here to look beyond their party.
Just complete your sentence. You're finished. Close your sentence.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, and Honorable Moses Kasbant is saying I should go to the chapel. Thank you. I will do that eventually. So, Right Honorable Speaker, as we debate this, let's just remember that it is only people who have gone to be with the Lord that do not change their minds. Please, let us see what is good for the country, and I implore you, if you belong to FDC or UPC or NRM, you can only tell your party which candidate you should front. But you cannot come to NRM when you belong to another party and then you start saying, you should not bring President Museveni. It is up to the party members to decide. I thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
No, Musana. Eric Musana. Eric Musana, then Kisa, then Kahonda. We are going to Musana. He's somewhere there. Yes.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker and honorable colleagues. I'm called Eric Musana. I'm the Member of Parliament for Buyaga East in Kagadi District. It is true, Madam Speaker, you gave us an opportunity to go and consult in our constituencies, and I have got 9 sub-counties, and I did consult all the 9 sub-counties, and I had 9 rallies. In all the 9 rallies, it was evident that I had 2 groups of people who were opposed and those who were in support of this particular amendment of 102B. But when I looked at the biggest number, it really supported that we should amend this particular article. Honourable members, it is our duty as Parliament to make laws, and there is no way we can run away from this responsibility. Of course, we are talking about that all power belongs to the people, but we have also to emphasize that they must exercise this power in accordance with the Constitution. I'm also in support of the committee's recommendation of the Constitutional Review Commission. We have a number of serious issues that must be incorporated, and this commission is going to help us bring all these warring parties, and probably we bring Uganda to a better consensus. Madam Speaker, I'm also in support of reinstating term limits. This was also got from my constituency. The people said it is true that President Yoweri Museveni has done great work, and the only way out, if these people who are against the government, who are against the NRM party, could also be given an opportunity. It's like a give and take. If we give the NRM party the amendment of 1002B article, then let us give the opposition the opportunity to also have the term limits. Madam Speaker, when we moved also in different constituencies, it is also paramount that the age issue should be looked at in terms of the population we have. More than 75%, 75.
Okay. On, I think it was Kisa, Kahonda, then Kunihira. We are in Ruka. Kisa.
Thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker. I'm Kisa Stephen, and I represent the people of Luka South, Luka District. Right Honorable Speaker, whatever we touch, we leave fingerprints. As we touch the Constitution of Uganda, we leave our identity. Right, Honourable Speaker, life is better when you are happy. But life is at its best when others are happy because of you. Right, Honourable Speaker, I'm here with express instruction, not to have any moment of delay, but to strongly support the amendment of Article 102B. Right, Honourable Speaker, my people would be very happy when we lift the presidential upper age limit. Right, Honourable Speaker, my people told me that the failure of this parliament to remove the upper age limit would offend them seriously. Right, Honourable Speaker, for purposes of national guidance and given the rapid demographic trend in this country and that the democracy of Uganda is just growing, we still need elders in this country to continue guiding Uganda. And any restriction that bars any person from serving Uganda would not be supported by the people of Luka South. Right, Honourable Speaker, I therefore want to request honourable members in this House that we all support and make the people of Luka to feel that this amendment would help them to continue being happy with the current government. Right, Honourable Speaker, nothing in nature lives for itself. Rivers do not drink their own water. Trees do not eat their own fruits. The sun does not shine for itself. Right, Honourable Speaker, with or without me in this parliament, whether I benefit or I don't benefit from the amendment, right, Honourable Speaker, I want to put it on record that I support completely the extension of the tenure of the President and the Parliament of Uganda to have enough time for the people in office to serve adequately and provide the adequate services required.
Honourable Kahonda, then Kunihira, Bafaki, Mandela.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker and colleagues, the issue we are dealing with is the matter of supremacy. We are all aware that the Constitution is the supreme law of this country. The Constitution is not a will that when you buy a plot, you go and change your will. I have a general observation from the constituency that we do scrutinize, understand the Constitution better, do all the needful, whatever is possible to amend the Constitution, but we give it a time frame, let's say 20 years, without any amendment. Now, Right Honourable Speaker, on the issue of age limit, it is actually articulated very well in the minority report when they highlighted Article 32. And it is reported that there is no Ugandan below the age of 35 and above 75 that has ever contested. It is true, Ugandans are law-abiding. And this actually justifies that Article 102 should have been amended earlier than today. Right Honourable Speaker, on the issue of term limit, it was raised at Kavira Sub-County by Ere Canon that it should be reinstated to address the issue of transition that
all Ugandans have been yearning for. Then lastly, on the issue of tenure, it was actually raised on our third rally at Kasensero Sub-County, where we had Kasensero Town Council and Kasensero Sub-County, that people are tired of elections. After every 2 years, people start engaging them in meetings and consultations for elections, that actually it should be increased. The recommendation from Kasensero, the people of Mitoma constituency, it was actually 10 years. So I'm in total support with the majority report that the tenure should be extended, should be increased. And then let me end with this, Madam Speaker. There is a writer, William Shakespeare, the great writer, who wrote, "Never play with feelings of others, because you may win the game, but the risk is that you will surely lose the passion for your lifetime." Right, Honorable Speaker.
Kunihira.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I would like to thank the members of the committee for this good report. I would like also to thank the minority members who made the report. Looking at their report, they are not in agreement with other articles. They are only refusing Article 102B. Madam Speaker, I would like to draw the attention of the House to Article 21 of the Constitution. A number of members here have contributed referring to that article, but they are referring to number 3 in isolation. Madam Speaker, if you go to Article 21(4), if you allow me, let me read it for the members. It says, "Nothing in this article shall prevent Parliament from enacting laws, first, that are necessary for implementing policies and programs aimed at redressing social, economic, educational, and other imbalances in society." You may read as it continues. Madam Speaker, I think reading this clause under Article 21 nullifies all what members have continued to refer, and yet they are referring to Article 3, to Clause 3, which defines the word discrimination. Madam Speaker, I would like to support the bill. Most especially, I'm supporting at the lower cap, whereby we must allow the youth, the younger generation, to come up and take these positions. Members might say it otherwise, but I think a number of people here yesterday said that they came here in Parliament when they were young. They mentioned Dodongoto. Even me, since I got to know him, it was through Parliament when he came direct from Parliament and took over. And I know he has capacity also to run this country. Madam Speaker, also members should agree, this House should recommend that government puts in place the Constitutional Review Commission to ensure that we bring our interests. Me, I represent workers, and there is a lot of discrimination articles in this Constitution, and I would pray that if it is established, we shall come back or we shall present our views to the Commission. I therefore call upon members to agree to support the article as we have prayed. Thank you so much.
No, Mandela. Then Wafaki. Sayewa. I'll go to that video there. I'm coming.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Madam Speaker and colleagues, allow me first of all thank the committee for an elaborate well thought and well researched report. I strongly support the main report. Madam Speaker, the issue of the age, especially the upper age, does not in any way affect the service delivery of any country. Madam Speaker, allow me have a reflection of some distinguished personalities here in Uganda. We have late Professor Sebastian Charwazi. We have late Professor Odong, who served our sector of health. They served and retired, but Makerere University, the appointments committee, considered them on contract. They served not of late. They passed on at the age of 87. They had very outstanding service. Madam Speaker, there is one of the professors in USA called John Bogle. This professor was early this year consulted by the government to give a sense of guidance for entrepreneurship and investment. Therefore, the people who hold the belief that vitality decreases with increasing age is not only philosophical, but imaginary. Madam Speaker, I consulted my constituency, and my people instructed me to come and support the amendments. I thank you very much, Madam Speaker and colleagues.
Mafaki, then Sayewa, then I got the middle there.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I need to be protected.
From who?
From Honorable Sechkubo. Madam Speaker, I've come here to represent the views of people of Kazo about the amendment of the Constitution we are going to make in a few hours from now. The people of Kazo overwhelmingly supported the amendment of Article 102B. And even when others, those who had been confused by my neighbor Sechkubo, they had been confused, they didn't know which position to take. Sechkubo had disorganized them that touching the Constitution is dangerous. They also understood and said, we are going to start. Madam Speaker, I have listened to the debate. I have listened to this debate. Madam Speaker, I have listened to this debate.
Please take your seat, take your seat.
My friends on the other side, who I respect a lot, especially the leader of opposition, has not brought out actually the point of ability and willingness to serve this country. They are only looking at one person, the president of this country. But you are not looking at the ability and willingness to serve this country. I think the matter should be those who are able and willing to serve this country should come on board. And therefore the question of looking at one individual, and the debate is on one individual, I don't think it is right. I am a living example. Those people who are saying that amending the Constitution is to make the president the right president. Not at all. I'm a living example. My predecessor retired, and I came to Parliament. You understand? Yes. Not because he wanted to remain as a member of Parliament for Kazo's route. Not at all. So if you are saying
if we were saying, honorable members, that amending this constitution is to make the president of this country stay in power forever, please forget the president is a Ugandan. If he chooses to represent his party in the next coming elections, he is very much welcome. I therefore bring the views of the people of Kazo that we touch it in the next few hours. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Tayewa Achidri Orot Saida Bumba. Honorable Tayewa, please.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, the biggest argument on the issue of 102B is an issue of a safety guard. Most of us here, we are tech savvy. When you are putting security in your phone, they give you, when you put a code, for example, the name Tayebra, they show you it might be a weak code. They tell you if you mix letters with numbers, you can get a strong code. And if you use just a thumbprint, you can be asleep and your wife sneaks in, steals your thumbprint, and they open your phone. So, what do I mean? When I'm looking at a safety guard, I look at what is strong. Madam Speaker, when I went to consult the people of Ruhinda North, the issue they were clear on is that you cannot give a blank check. That is releasing an open constitution. You need a safety guard. Therefore, we weighed on the safety guards we have. Which one is the strongest? Age limit or term limit? Madam Speaker, we found President Kabila in Congo came to power when he was 29. If you go by our constitution, President Kabila can rule up when he's 46, up to 46 years. The new president of Austria, Madam Speaker, he has just joined power when he's 31 years. If you go in, she can be in power up 44 years. But if you brought term limits, that president will go away in 10 years maximum. And they therefore proposed that we do bring back term limits. The issues of age limit do not concern them, as long as we return term limits. Madam Speaker, I want to go on the issue of some are calling it extending, others enlarging, others expanding our term. To me, I believe we as a parliament that got a contract of 5 years with our voters, we do not have any power of varying that contract. We do not have any power. People of Ruhinda North sent me here. If you have a contract signed by two people, one party cannot go and extend the contract.
No, Achidri, you made your point. Okay, close your sentence. Close your sentence.
Conclude. Yes. I want to conclude by saying that we shouldn't sit here and we lie ourselves that we shall expand our term. If we are to propose that, let it start with 2021 in a new term, but not this term. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Oh no, Achidri, Orot Ismail, Honorable Saida Bumba. Then I'll come back to the cabinet. Achidri, we are at the back there.
Order, please, right? Right Honorable Speaker. Honorable colleagues, in the interest of time, I would like to state that the people of Marata East have practically said a no to amendment of Article 102B. The people of Marata East have said this issue is not a partisan one. It is concerning the country Uganda. We are amending the constitution of a country that has had a history of political instability, and therefore Article 102B is the right provision to ensure a stable transition of political power. Right Honorable Speaker, the people of Marata East have also told me to inform this House that the lowering of the age cap is not in the interest of the youth, because the people who are advancing this argument have clearly stated that it is meant to ensure we have the scarcity of leaders addressed. The question of the upper age limit is meant to address the scarcity of good leaders. So how will the youth fight with an incumbent who has all the resources? And the incumbent himself is on the record for saying that the upper age limit must be removed so that Africa can address the chronic problem of quality leaders. But the people of Marata have also observed that age is a reality, because our incumbent president is on the record for saying that he works for himself, he works for his family, he works for his beliefs. He is not a servant of the people. Yes, this is on the record. So why should we amend the Constitution in the interest of one man? This debate is about the wishes of an individual and aspirations of a nation. Therefore, when you bring the argument of peace, the people of Marata have said peace is a product of everyone's contribution. The people of West Nile welcomed the NRA, guerrillas, and that is why there's peace in West Nile. They could have chosen to fight and there will be no peace. On the question of political stability, they have said the government must invest more in social services to ensure we have stability than putting more money in arms.
Honorable Honorable Bumba.
Thank you.
Then Honorable Chicho. Mili Mugeni. Then I come to the cabinet. I'm coming.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Speaker. I am Orot Smile, representing the people of Kanyumu County in Ikumi district. Incidentally, this Kanyumu County is a county of highly opposition people. However, when I went and consulted them in two sub-counties, which happened to be in the county of Kanyumu County, in my own sub-county, Mukongoro, present President Yoweri Museveni had been voted in, but he could not win because the area is mostly opposition. That's what happens in my county. That's why you see even now the president of FDC comes from that county of Kanyumu where I represent. But when I consulted these people, in the consultative meeting, there was a district chairperson of FDC, and they were over 1,000 people. What they decided to do, they told me that please, because of this development that because one of the issues why they wanted me to open the constitution is that President Museveni listened to open a public university in the Teso region. Agreed to put pipe water in Kumi. For many years, Kumi district, Kumi municipality never had water. And these people had stayed in the camps for 3 years during war, during insurgents. And then the president also directed the prime minister by then to put a ferry crossing from Kumi to Katakwi, which simplified the means of transport. They told me, the people I consulted, anonymously told me that go and open Article 102B. And as I speak now, those people whom I consulted are listening to me in the television, in the constituency of Kanyumu and in Ikumi. So, Madam Speaker, what we are addressing here, the people asked me a question. That the question they asked me, that if people of Uganda don't vote for Museveni, then whom shall they vote for? Because they have not seen a leader with the quality of President Yoweri Museveni.
On outsider, then we go to Honorable Kitio. I think I'd noted the Honorable Miri Mugenyi. Then we go to the middle there, and then I come to the cabinet. I'm coming. The middle there, then I come to the cabinet. I'm coming. Honorable Saida.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. My name is Saida Bumba, Member of Parliament, Nakaseke North Constituency. Madam Speaker, as all colleagues know, Nakaseke North Constituency was core in fighting the liberation war. Both women and men, young and old, fought to have the democracy which this House is enjoying today and the rest of this country. Madam Speaker, in the liberation war, what these people were fighting for was unlimited democracy. And they therefore want to see the democracy in this country unlimited. Madam Speaker, I want to thank the framers of the Constitution for the content in Article 1 and also the contents in the articles which provide for the processes of amending the Constitution. Whether I hear people saying, don't touch the Constitution. Our Constitution has been amended 4 times since 1995. It was amended when we are moving from the movement system to multi-party system. It was amended when we are creating the office of the leader of opposition. It was amended when we are creating the office of the Deputy Attorney General and the executive office of the Prime Minister. And it was also amended when we are lifting the term limit. Madam Speaker, I consulted in the 9 sub-counties plus special sessions with the veterans. And Madam Speaker, with the exception of a few people in the town, 99% supported the amendment of Article 102. They directed me to touch it. Madam Speaker, they did this recognizing that we have got abundant human resource, both in the upper age category and in the lower age category. The children of the veterans have become of age. They are now educated, but they are not yet 35. Many of them want to become LC 5-tier persons. Many of them want to become LC 3-tier persons. But the Article 102B limits them. Madam Speaker, they also told me that they are fatigued with elections. The elections are too frequent. The elections are too expensive. Madam Speaker, every after an election for 2 years, we have inflation. And this is because of the money we release during elections, which is not backed up by production.
Honorable Sarah Kitio. Sarah Kitio. Then Mili Mugeni. Somuli Katoto Anite. Then I come here. Hajat said that. Close your sentence.
Statement of the term limit. Madam Speaker, their view was that it is in contradiction of Article 1 of the Constitution, which gives the powers to the people to choose on how they want to be governed and on who to govern them. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Honorable Kitio.
Thank you, Madam Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I happen to represent 25 districts. During the consultations, only Kampala district, the youth of Kampala, they said we should not touch. The rest of the districts of Central Region, they are in support of the amendment of the Article 102B. Right Honorable Speaker, I was challenged when I was in Masaka and the Greater Masaka as a region, as well as Greater Luero. The young people of those regions, sub-regions, they told me that they are always remembered and pampered during the elections by the honorable members. The young people are the majority of this country. During the elections, they are looked every day and night. They are mobilized and they are shown love and they are told how they are important and all that. But they are so disappointed by most members who come here, and when it is issues to do with the young people, they don't care about them. Even those who are useful, this parliament is on record. It has the majority of the young people. But when it comes to involving the young people into leadership, they tend not to care about them. Simply because they are here, maybe because they were lucky and they made it to parliament, they do not tend to think about those young people who still need the opportunities to stand. It is not fair for the young people to be always called upon during the riots, during the protests, during all the political conflicts, but when it comes to sharing the cake of this nation, they tend not to involve them in the laws that really brings them closer to the sharing of the power. I therefore wish to submit that the majority out of the 25 districts that I represent, the 24 districts of Central Region told me to touch the Constitution, to amend. Only Kampala district did not support it. I beg to submit. Thank you.
Honorable Miru Mugeni. Then we go to Somuli, Katoto, Anite, Amero, then I come this side. Oh, cabinet, some cabinet, some. Yes.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. My name is Mugeni Miri, the woman member of Parliament, Butaleja District. Madam Speaker, I would like to add my voice onto the other voices of the other members who are in support of the amendment of Article 102B of the Constitution. Madam Speaker, I want to thank you for the facilitation that you gave us to go out and
look for the views of our people who sent us to Parliament. Madam Speaker, I had 2 rallies in both constituencies, Bunyole West and Bunyole East in Butaleja, and other meetings which I held with other leaders. Madam Speaker, my people of Butaleja said that their major concern is about service delivery. And the biggest concern they had was about the tarmac road that has been promised by the President, which I'm very sure by the next financial year it would be the budget. Secondly, Madam Speaker, my people put up a concern of the health sector, that as government we should look at it critically and look for solutions for the appalling conditions. And thirdly, the youth brought up the issue of unemployment, that as government we must look at unemployment as an effect to the performance of the youth. And once that is done, they don't have issues to do with amendment of Article 102B. Right, Honorable Speaker, everybody who has come here is quoting the Bible, but it is that very Bible which says that there is no leadership which does not come from God. Madam Speaker, as I wind up, this very constitution in Article 259(1) allows us to amend the constitution. So I saw no reason why other members are scared of doing this on behalf of their voters. So, honorable members, as I conclude, I want to say that I'm touching the constitution with no gloves. So join me. Honorable Semuli, after Semuli, Honorable Katoto, after Katoto, Honorable Anita, then I come here. Then I come back straight. I'm coming back.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'm here to present the views of my people of Mubende municipality. Madam Speaker, I'd like to thank you for giving us the opportunity to go and consult our people. But before I give the views of my people, I'd like to give 2 sayings. A good shepherd has to smell like the flock. And the voice of the people is the voice of God. So whatever I'm going to say is the voice of God. Madam Speaker, I was able to make 11 consultation meetings. I want this to go on record. I have 3 divisions in my jurisdiction. The first meeting I held comprised of all the councillors together with opinion leaders. They said no. I was able to conduct meetings in these areas. The area of Gayaza, Kangulumira, Chirunji Chisekende, Nabikakala, Kansera, Kaula, Mijunwa, Kasanja, Chamkona, and Kisuja. Madam Speaker, as leaders, we have to go by the will of the people. Of all the consultation meetings I held, they said no. Madam Speaker, my jurisdiction is predominantly NRM. And I urge honorable members of Parliament, we are here because of the will of our people. It's highly hypocritical to deliver a message which is contrary to the people you are representing. Madam Speaker, the The reasons they are flaunting, one of them is the consistency of the Constitution. Madam Speaker, the Constitution we are talking about
Toto, then Evelyn Anite.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Katoto Asif is my name. I represent the people of Katerera County in Rubirizi District. I thank you. You gave us facilitation to go and consult our people. I consulted the top leaders who actually told me that we are fearing that you are not going to touch it. But since you are touching, we are now with you. They accepted. I proceeded to sub-counties, one by one. I only got 2 people who said don't touch. Other people said we should touch. Madam Speaker, the reason is that as to why we should touch, I don't see myself being voted or going to vote when I actually can't be voted for. This creates voters' apathy, which is not allowed around the globe in most counties. For example, in US, there is no age limit. Britain, no age limit. Why should we have it here in Uganda? You people, most of you say, I'm going to UK, I'm going to UK. Why don't you tell the Queen also to reside or be voted for? She's always there, but Britain has stabilized and is developing. Why don't we imitate that example and bring it here in Uganda so that you can also reach the height of Britain? Madam Speaker, most people say Museveni, Museveni, Museveni. Museveni is not the issue here. I want to tell you by reciting the Quran, by saying, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, bismillahir rahmanir rahim, inna al-izzata lillahi jami'a. All leadership is from God. If God has decided that Museveni is going to be the leader of this country up to the end, it will be. And none will stop it. I therefore employ my colleagues like Bobby Wine to come in this thing and to amend the Article 102B. Honorable members, it's not a joking subject. Some of you here, you are deceived by the donors who gave you some little money. But I want to assure you, this is Uganda, and Uganda is not going anywhere. Uganda is ours, and we shall stay in Uganda forever and ever more. Thank you very much.
Honorable Speaker. There's no one on the floor. There's no one on the floor. Take your seat. Honorable Anite, then we shall have Honorable Gume Opendi, Okeloriem Bahati. Let's start there. Let's start with those 4.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, first of all, allow me to thank you. Start my minutes afresh. Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me the opportunity to be on record on the issue of amending Article 102B. Madam Speaker, in the first place, I want to thank you so much for the way you steered this House with the wisdom that you read from the Bible, deriving it from the wisdom of King Solomon. Madam Speaker, I want to first give the views of the people of Koboko Municipality. I represent the people of Koboko Municipality. I moved in the 3 divisions of Koboko Municipalities, and also moved in all the villages of Koboko municipality. 99% of the people told me not only to touch the constitution, but touch the constitution and squeeze this Article 102B out of the constitution. Madam Speaker, I want to declare my personal view that I am going to touch the constitution. I am very happy that you're seated on that chair, ready to give us the opportunity to touch the constitution. Let me give the reasons as to why I want us to amend the constitution, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, this constitution, you cannot say that someone should not offer themselves to stand for the position of president at the age of 75. At the same time, you say that those who are 75 and above can go and cast a vote for someone who is less than 75 years. Madam Speaker, the people of Koboko municipality stated clearly that they cannot imagine themselves going to the 2021 elections without seeing the name President Museveni on the ballot. They want to see the name of President Museveni and they will vote for him again. Not because of anything else, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni brought us from exile. We ran to Congo, we were in South Sudan. We do not have infrastructure. We do not have a single road in Koboko. Now you can drive from Kampala to Oraga on a tarmac road. Madam Speaker, we are enjoying peace and stability in northern Uganda. It is because of the effort of President Yoweri Museveni. We cannot bring technicality and say we should technically knock him out of the race because he's above 75 years. Madam Speaker, I want to say this. I am supporting the amendment of Article 102B, not because of financial issues. I've been hearing people in opposition saying, for us we are doing this because we have been given 40 million, 400 million, one time they said 800 million. I want to state it clearly, all the brains here are doing this out of conviction, not because of money. Madam Speaker, we love our president. And we want to make it very clear that even Odongo is going to support Article 102B. Let us clap for him, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I want to say this. Madam Speaker, I also want Honorable Fred Gume, I think I noted Fred Gume Werike, there was Ofendi, and Okelorium and Bahati. First, I have to balance.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker and honorable colleagues. My name is Gume Ngobi Frederick, and I represent the people of Bulamoji Northwest Constituency in Kaliro District. Madam Speaker, I am honored to be here with little intervention and no disturbances. But I would like to report to you that on your instructions, we did move to the constituencies. I conducted 12 meetings, consultative meetings. These meetings were of about 10,000 people. They gave me views. Madam Speaker and colleagues, it is these views that I would like to extrapolate and relate to this House. The people in Bulamoji comprehensively said the Constitution is not static. It is not made in cement and metal. It must change with the circumstances of the day. So you are under instructions to go and amend the Constitution. Now, Madam Speaker, this Constitution, the framers made it 2.5 decades ago. They were very cognizant of the fact that about 50% then were youth. Less than 50% of the population were youth. And the life expectancy was about 45 years or 43. I want to drive you through a mathematical formula. At 43, the framers of the Constitution, at a life expectancy of 43, they put the age limit to 75. That was over 30 years ahead. The life expectancy now is about 70. So, logically, you must reason that from 70, you add 30 and continue. So amend this constitution. Secondly, Madam Speaker, there is also a belief that we are in politics. Politics brings in people. We have multi-party dispensation. You have parties going around. We have our own party, you have your own parties. Go and think and choose, we think and choose, and we come and compete. Give us the freedom from who to choose. We should be given an opportunity. There is no age in politics. It is free grazing. Why do you limit people? So we are suggesting that the people must be given an opportunity to choose from whom they would like to choose. Ladies and gentlemen.
Ona Werike then Opendi. Werike first Opendi, then Oriem, Bahati. Then I come to say. I'm coming.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I would like to join colleagues in thanking you, thanking the chairperson and the Committee of Legal and Parliamentary Affairs for the report. And I would like to start by saying I went to consult following your facilitation to us all. But before I give the views of my people, I would like to observe that the framers of the 1995 Constitution envisaged a situation whereby we would actually need to amend the Constitution. And what has happened is that since the promulgation of the Constitution, we've had inconsistencies in the Constitution vis-a-vis Article 1, vis-a-vis, I'm just going to mention a few, Article 104, Clause 7, and many others. So that's why we actually have Chapter 18 talking about amendment of the Constitution in order to cure some of these inconsistencies. Article 102, Right Honorable Speaker, does actually discriminate. Much as we say it is not mentioned in either Article 38 or 21, it does because we are actually having people locked out of leadership, governance, or participation in the governance of this country because of age. And I know the focus has been on the upper limit of the age limit. But we are also saying even the lower limit, many of our young people do contribute to the economy of this country, and yet they don't participate below 35. So we need to actually have this Article 102 be amended in order to cure some of these inconsistencies. Now, the people of Bungoko South I represent, I did consult people from 11 sub-counties of Bungoko South. The people of Bungoko South say we do actually observe the inconsistencies I've talked about, and we want every citizen of this country to freely participate in the governance, in the leadership of this country, regardless, once he or she is above 18. And there should be no capping of the upper limit. And therefore, the
Honorable Pendi. Honorable Pendi. Okay, close your sentence. Close your sentence.
They told me to come here enthusiastically to support the removal of actually Article 1 or the repealing of Article 102B. There should be no age limit in our Constitution. That is what I got from my people.
Honorable Pendi, Opendi, Okeloriem, Bahati, then I come this side. I'm fine.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I want to thank you for this opportunity. But before I make my comments on the issue at hand, allow me, Right Honorable Speaker, to make a statement regarding what has been circulating on social media. I am not married to Gideon Onyango. I am not his wife. Neither am I cohabiting with him. Neither do I have any relationship with him. And therefore, the allegation that I have been arrested for stealing a child that he fathered with a prostitute is totally false and not true. And nobody has, no, let me leave that. And nobody is touching. Right Honorable Speaker.
Order.
Honorable Yomusi, your application can be considered in 2018. Right Honorable Speaker, allow me to move the issue at hand. And I want to thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Parliament facilitated us to move to our constituencies to consult. However, I want to say that the issue of equity was not considered. I come from a district that has 21 sub-counties. People with 2 sub-counties were being given the same amount of money with those with larger areas. And I hope that in future, when facilitating members of parliament, this has to be looked into. And of course, I had a bit of a challenge on how to consult. And when I finally consulted, Right Honorable Speaker, the people were of the view that we should have a referendum on this matter. However, after explaining, Right Honorable Speaker, one young man from FDC made a very important statement that swayed everybody. This gentleman said, Right Honorable Speaker, that his president is about to be caught up by this age limit. And he was looking at his president, Dr. Kizza Besigye, leading this country. That is what this young man said. Please, I'm reporting from my constituency. And then he said, because of that, please go and amend. And therefore, I'm here to say that swayed the views of everybody. However, Right Honorable Speaker, they said restore term limits. And I'm glad that this is clearly contained in the report of the committee. Right Honorable Speaker, allow me also to mention
Honorable Keloriem. Close your sentence. Close your sentence. Close. You can conclude.
Okay, I want to conclude, Right Honorable Speaker, regarding the extension of the term of this parliament. Right Honorable Speaker, we have to be mindful that we have laws in this country. We have the Leadership Code Act that guides us. It is not proper for leaders to sit in this parliament and come up with an amendment that is going to benefit us as individuals, because that will be contrary to the Leadership Code Act, particularly Section 12A. And Right Honorable Speaker, I want to submit. Ugandans, Right Honorable Speaker, should use their vote to elect leaders that they so wish to elect. Let us use the vote and let us know that age limit is already written for each one of us in heaven. At some point, we shall leave this earth. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Okeloriem, Honorable Bahati, Amero, General Tumwine, then I come to speak.
Madam Speaker, at the onset, let me congratulate you and add my voice to the previous speakers in appreciating the manner in which you have managed to steer this House in the last few days. Madam Speaker, my name is Oriem Henry Okello. I'm the Member of Parliament for Chua County East, Kidgum District. Madam Speaker, thank you very much for giving us the opportunity to go to our constituency and consult on the Magezi proposal of amending Article 102B. Madam Speaker, I took the opportunity of transversing my constituency. I took the opportunity of consulting my people. I took the opportunity to explain them in no certain terms what it meant. Madam Speaker, having consulted my 4 sub-counties, every man, woman, and child who came to my meetings, I can say irrefutably and clearly here that they gave me clear instructions, Madam Speaker, honorable colleagues, to come here and support the amendment of Article 102B without fear or favor. They told me not only to touch, but also to hug and squeeze with love the amendment of Article 102. So I'm here to make it very clear, Madam Speaker, and I thank my people for supporting the amendment of Article 102B, and that is on record, and there's no doubt about that. Madam Speaker, yesterday I was a bit surprised. My Kidum district is composed of, Kidum district has 4 members of parliament, and I come from Chua East, and a colleague of mine, or PP of King comes, honorable PP comes from Chua West. Then there's the woman member of parliament, Margaret Labwaka, and my good colleague, Honorable Bitsa Nyua from the municipality. I was a bit surprised yesterday, Madam Speaker, when my colleague Okin talked on behalf of the people of Kidum District, because the last time I checked on records, the only person who could have talked for the people of Kidum District should have been Margaret Labwaka, the woman and member of parliament, and not Okin. Okin can only talk for his constituency, which is Chua West, and not talk for the whole of Kidum. Kidum District, I come from the Chua East, and Chua East has made it very clear and differs from Okin's position that we touch and we amend, and therefore we amend. The people of my constituency are satisfied with the situation. We have a tarmac road that was never there since independence. We have electricity at every single sub-county in Kidum District. There's peace and security. The Karabajong does not disturb us. Every year, 30 to 40 students from my constituency go abroad to study scholarships of different forms and manners. Madam Speaker, we in Kidum District, in Chua East, we are satisfied with the status quo. But I'd like to address
Honorable Bahati. Conclude your statement.
Madam Speaker, I'd like to address the issue of secession. Madam Speaker, I have lived and grown up in the corridor of power since I was young. This issue of secession of the North is an illusion, is a mirage, a figment of somebody's imagination. Nobody in the North will secede from this country. On Monday, we will be here doing business as usual. Nobody will succeed. We are happy with this government. We are happy with the leadership. The North will not secede. The East will not succeed. The West will not succeed. Not even the South will succeed. Uganda will remain one country tomorrow. Uganda will remain one country for future. There is no doubt about it. So I can make so confidently here that the North will not secede under any circumstances. We should not be threatened. We do not fear. No amount of threat will make us change our position on 102. We'll talk about secession.
Honorable Bahati.
Madam Speaker and honorable colleagues, I want to thank you for the opportunity. In 1995, when the Constituent Assembly was legislating, they knew that times would change. And indeed, the Uganda of 1995 is different from the Uganda of now. The life expectancy has changed from 43 to 68. The revenue collection, which was 5.6 billion, has changed to now 15 trillion. There are a number of consistencies. They knew that things will change and these consistencies could be determined at a later time. I want to quote two consistencies in this constitution, which is the basis for us to amend this constitution. One, the age of the lower age which Margaret has suggested to amend of electing LOC 3 chairpersons and LOC 5. The Prime Minister of Austria is the 14th richest nation in the world. It has a GDP of 386 billion. It is 31 years. Our constitution says that Honorable Odeke here, who has really made a contribution to South, cannot be a chairperson of Ngola sub-county with a budget of $300,000 US. Is it really fair? Madam Speaker and honorable colleagues, honorable from Soloti quoted the Bible, and Honorable Elijah quoted the Bible, but also allow me to quote the Bible. It is just to everybody. Job 12:12, and I quote from NIV. Wisdom belongs to the aged, and understanding to the old. That's the word of God. Ali alone here, State School made a point. He said people like Mandela made a contribution. When did he become a president? 76 years. Friends, let's look at this inconsistency critically. Our constitution now says, even if we were 74 years, 11 months, and 29 days, you are eligible to stand. What kind of pointless really is this? The point that we are making here, we are amending the constitution not for the sake of amending, but correct the inconsistency in it. Madam Speaker, the people of Ndoba West, the people of Kabale,
you give us more money. 1 minute, but you must give us more money.
have no problem in touching the constitution. In fact, they said that the constitution has no stones it can be touched. I thank you, and I pray to all my colleagues to support this amendment.
Amero, then General Tumwine, Honorable Aja. Let's start. I'm coming this side.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I want to join the rest of my colleagues in thanking you for the facilitation that was given to us for consultation. However, I also want to join my colleague, Honorable Saro Pendi, in raising the issue of equity in the distribution of this money. Madam Speaker, this money made some of us very relevant in our constituencies. Though we did consultations, we were not able to reach out all the people who were supposed to reach out. And Madam Speaker, I wanted also to request that next time we're going for consultation, you give us the guidelines of consultations. Because the time we were on the ground, many people did what they thought and deemed right for them to come back to this house in the next parliament. Madam Speaker, in the consultation, some people consulted their agents. Other people consulted the party structures. And the law we are making is not for the party, it's not for the agents, we are making for Uganda. Madam Speaker, I happen to carry out public rallies. And my people of Amuria say we should not touch, a majority of them say. And Madam Speaker, until last night I was receiving calls. The people of Amuria said the constitution of Uganda that we are now talking about was made in this regime when the NRM was in power. Madam Speaker, they said the constitution was made out, the age cap was put there at that time to keep off some leaders who wanted to contest. And now we forgot that one day what goes around will come around. This time we have reached the age of retirement. I think we should leave this opportunity for other people like myself who can also now contest for president. Madam Speaker, Madam Speaker, the people of Amuria, including the youth, say they are not looking at the position of leadership, they are looking for employment. And what we must be discussing here should be to address the issues of unemployment that is affecting our country. Madam Speaker, for that reason, I stand here to represent the voice of the people of Amuria, not the party. I will not touch. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Tumwine, then we'll go to Aja.
I am saluting God for bringing us this far. I am saluting you, Madam Speaker. I'm saluting the people of Uganda. I'm saluting you, all you members, for reaching this stage. And I wish you all peace, obusinge, emirembe, Puch, Al-Najara, Kisil, and comfort and enjoyment for the future. God designed every human being with a deliberate purpose to move forward. The ears, the eyes, the nose, the mouth, the breast, the important parts, the hands, the feet are facing forward. Now, Madam Speaker, when you ask us to consult the UPDF caucus, which is a constituency for the whole country, we went around the whole country and we divided ourselves and we are supported by our commanders in the unit, and we reached almost every district. Our main concern was to ensure that, and that was after our important meeting of the High Command and the Defense Council, where we discussed the destiny of Uganda and the destiny of Africa. And our purpose was to ensure and to give everyone confidence that they were free, with whichever side they were on, whether pro or against, that they were free to discuss this matter as they wanted and allow the democratic process to take place. Four main points summarize our observations. First one is democracy. Second one is unity. Third one is security. And the fourth one is the independence of Uganda. These happen to be the four original first principles of the 10-point program. Along the coast, on democracy, and all of them are catered for in the Constitution. And when we observed, we found out that most of the people actually had been intimidated, had been threatened because of the two words, Tojikwatako and Kojikwatako. And we assured them that they have the freedom given by the Constitution of the sovereign of the people.
One minute for the general.
1 minute.
For the senior member.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The 1 minute is, there is no constitution
motion. There is no law, there is no motion which cannot be amended. This motion here, that's why it is put there. Life changes, and therefore we must change with the times. Secondly, if you touch security which is being talked about here, it affects everybody. It does not know your party, it does not know your religion, a shell does not know your age or even your qualification. If security is affected, it affects all of us. But we want to say, there are many peace-loving Ugandans, young and old. The security forces are ready, trained, prepared, willing, able, and ready to defend the peace of Uganda. Let no one threaten it. I thank you.
Aja Oranya Nyakecho Zake Kivumbi Kasivante Andoguzu.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I stand here as MP Kabale Municipality, and I stand here to represent the views of the people of Kabale Municipality. Yesterday, as we were in the August House, some members from my region said Kigezi spoke, and it spoke in unity. They could have spoken in unity without fighting, but they might have not talked the same language in what we are doing here. I want to say that even my neighbor, Honorable Bahati, has said the whole of Kabale. No, it's totally different at times. I did consult, Right Honorable Speaker. Consulting I did. I even went on radio. I even had the RDC to buy airtime and call the RDC to do with me on radio to promote peace, unity, and tranquility such that we all be together in these consultations. I even asked them to have consultations where we are tolerant of divergent views that are coming from different personalities. Consulting I did. And I even rejected of consulting the Right Honorable Prime Minister, who is my voter. Yes, I did consult him. I consulted in the following ways. One, I went and consulted the opinion and political leaders of Kabale Municipality. After them, I went and consulted the people in general. I had a very big general rally in Southern. And over 90% of the people I consulted said, do not touch the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda. Very, very few said you can touch. There was a few people who came up and said, Honorable, you very well know that the party that is in power, their symbol is the bus. I said, yes. The bus moves with two brakes. I said, There's the hand brake and the foot brake. I said, yes. Now I want to ask you. That was an old man asking me. The first brake, which is the hand brake, you removed it when you removed the age limit. I said, yes. Now you are saying you also want to move the foot brake, and then we say, oh my God, for God and my country, God help us, let this bus stop at any one time. Even continues to say that some of the people left the party had gone with their life. That's why they use symbols of a lantern when they are going for elections. And so on and so forth. Right Honorable Speaker, the people of Kabale Municipality.
Honorable Oranya. Okay, half a minute for the Dean of the Independent.
Right Honorable Speaker, I want to conclude by saying this. I want to have a famous quote from a very famous man, Mahatma Gandhi, which I received on my iPad yesterday. It says, many people, especially ignorant people, want to punish you for speaking the truth, for being correct, for being you. Never apologize for being correct
or for being years ahead of your time. If you are right, you know and you know it, speak your mind. Even if you are a minority of one, the truth is still the truth. Mahatma Gandhi. Thank you.
Olanya, then Nyakecho, then I go to Zake, Kaswante Mchivumbi, Oguzu, Namayanja.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I consulted my people of Kilak South, Amoro District. Right Honorable Speaker, my people told me clearly that I must not touch Article 102B in the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda. Right Honorable Speaker, I would like to thank the Minority Report. We are not few, we are very many. Right Honorable Speaker, in this world you need to stand for the truth. Even if you are alone, you have to stand for the truth. I would like to thank our colleagues from the NRM side who are so bold. They are coming up clearly and presenting the views of their people. I would like to appreciate you. Right Honorable Speaker, this is the time we need to tell the truth to the nation. My people of Kilak South told me clearly to come and tell Ugandans that if we cannot share the Constitution, then we shall share the border post. If we cannot share the Constitution of this country, we shall share the border post. Right Honorable Speaker, the point of seceding is not a myth. The point of seceding is not a myth, Right Honorable Speaker. If some people think that they have numbers, they keep on sitting on the few individuals, I think the time is coming for us to form our own nation. It's very important, Right Honorable Speaker. In the past, few individuals came up with a proposal, but we didn't have a strong reason to do it. This time we have a very strong reason. I would like to borrow what His Excellency Yoweri said in 1980. When he was campaigning in Jinja, he said, anyone who tamper with the Constitution, he was going to the bush, and he did it. This time, if you tamper with the Constitution, we are going to divide the country. We shall not allow to stay in the country whereby you keep on sitting on the few individuals. Right Honorable Speaker, this is the time we need to tell the truth. I would like to say our colleagues from the NRM, they do not love His Excellency Yoweri Museveni Kaguta. If you like him, you will tell him the truth by saying, Your Excellency, comes 221, just retire. As if you are not learning from what is happening from other countries. Are you not seeing what happened in Zimbabwe? Do you want His Excellency to end like Gaddafi of Libya? Do you want him to end?
Oda Nyakecho then Zake, Nyakecho Zake, Kaswante Kivumbi, Oguzu, Namayanja.
Madam Speaker, I want to thank you for giving me an opportunity to also contribute to this debate and to share the voices of the people who I represent of Truro County North. Madam Speaker, when I went for my consultation, I think I was among the very few members of parliament who was highly intimidated on the ground. I found my opponent had mobilized seriously But I thank God that at the end of the day, he took control of the situation. And this is the report I'm going to give to the House. Madam Speaker, despite the fact that my consultation was highly charged, people were able to reason. And they looked at the pros and cons because I gave them the opportunity to debate. And at the end of the debate, Madam Speaker, this is what they had to say. They told me that, Honorable Nyakecho, we know that precedence has already been set. It is not only in Uganda, it's only Uganda that does not have age limit. Actually, Kenya does not have age limit. Tanzania does not have age limit. US, America does not have age limit. East Africa, most of the countries in East Africa, Africa, and the rest of the world over do not have age limits. What they have are term limits. And I want to stand firm on this ground right now, Madam Speaker, and support the position of the committee to reinstate term limits. And say that we need to listen to the views of our people. No level of intimidation will stop us from giving the views of our people. My people said, please go and amend the Constitution. And my people, of course we had to put it to a vote. We voted, and majority took the day. However, Madam Speaker, I had over 6,000 people I consulted in my 3 sub-counties. The turn-up was overwhelming, Honorable Sechku. I wish you had come along with me. You would have witnessed.
Don't listen to hecklers. Don't listen to hecklers.
And Madam Speaker, finally I want to say this, that the current status quo is not so much favorable, Madam Speaker. Somebody said here yesterday, he commented about the current legal regime.
No, Zake. Zake?
I thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, for this great opportunity granted to me. And first of all, I would wish to thank you for the care and love about my condition I've been in and what I'm still experiencing. That's why I'm here and able to deliberate and represent the people of Michana Municipality so well. I thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I've been in the hospital. First of all, I've been in Lubaga at first. So many people managed to check on me when I was able to understand each and every one. And even in the past, I was able to consult my people, Madam Speaker. Many visited me and were able to tell me, many even wrote in the book where the visitors were signing from, and they all told me, Zake, please continue with the struggle, continue to protect the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda. Madam Speaker, so many people here, they have been talking, my colleagues, they have been talking about age, that age is always wisdom. Madam Speaker, I find that as an insult to me as Zake Francis. Being a youth and being that I'm young, it's as if these people have been insinuating or insulting me that maybe I do not have the wisdom. Are you forgetting that it's only God providing the wisdom? Madam Speaker, it's just so correct that when someone grows and is kind of like old, this is so so right that that person cannot reason enough. That is so true. That's why there is a retirement age where you have to retire from. Madam Speaker, when this, my colleagues will say that this kind of Article 102B is being discriminative, they are telling us that age can be discriminatory. This is very wrong. Madam Speaker, you will hear of cases about people wanting to get married below 18 because they will say they are discriminating us. The people of Michiana told me anything to do with favoring the president of this country, they will not allow because they are suffering.
Honorable Kasvante.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. I wish to begin with the words of an inspirational preacher in the names of Ismail Mo Aivo. And he said this: if I am to choose between sleeping and being part of a leadership that pursues falsehood agenda, I would choose sleeping. Chasing a falsehood agenda by a leadership sect is what made Nelson Mandela to call it long walk to freedom. Madam Speaker, I regret to note that history has not helped some of us here to understand that as members of parliament, we are duty bound to save Uganda from going back to turmoil. The political and constitutional instabilities talked about in the preamble of our constitution should be very clear to all of us. Politicians manipulated not only parliaments of the day, but also courts of law. And the result was a history that all of us don't want to be repeated. Right Honorable Speaker, some of us who come from Buganda, we have been guided and reminded by the Katikkiro, Oweekitiibwa Charles Peter Mayiga, that the turmoil that resulted out of the instability referred to in the preamble of the Uganda Constitution costed Buganda about 1 million lives. And we are duty bound as representatives of Buganda known to be party to any kind of manipulation that are putting back this country in that turmoil. Right Honorable Speaker, even debating ability or inability of a person at old age is a pretense. There is some health specialist, Dr. Jacinto Mamuto, has written a very wonderful research on old age, and this is what it is. It is titled The Consequences of Aging, a Scientific Angle. Something he calls cognitive dysfunction of a man doubles at every 5 years after the age of 60. And thus at the age of 80, one is affected with the impaired thinking, perceptual disturbance, very poor abstraction, mental flexibility, planning, and judgment. And he calls this impaired executive function. Madam Speaker, the constituency I represent is a home to very senior officials of this government, including the number 2. And this is what they have sent me to say. One, that if anything, instead of expanding the current tenure of office, the current tenure of office should be subjected to early elections to enable them to dispose of some of the leaders they think they have become a liability to this nation. 2, that before we think of any changes
Chivumbi, Honorable Chivumbi. Honorable Chivumbi.
Right, Honorable Speaker, Honorable Members.
we are summoned to the most noble duties as members of parliament. That is the two most cardinal duties, the one of representation and the one of legislation. It cannot be heavier on our shoulders than it is today. Right Honorable Speaker, I've had a consistent line in the arguments that people say elections are enough to guarantee free and fair transition and peaceful transfer of power. Right Honorable Speaker, I'm here to recall the debate that took place both in the House of Representatives of America and in the Senate, because they never had limitations of terms. Actually, the very fear that the Americans represented are the very fears we are grappling with in this parliament. They fear that if an individual stays long enough in power, he will gain so much leverage that he will control parliaments, that he will have leverage over his political parties, that he will take charge of the treasury, that he will take charge of the security apparatus, that he will be the omega and the alpha and the law of the country. And they thought to avoid that, they put limitations. There is a concept called the known knowns. You cannot run away from it. A known reality is that President Museveni will not be eligible to stand in 2021 if the current constitution is not amended. Those who are saying there is a moral question on extension of a term of parliament, why isn't there a moral question on extending and giving life to a life presidency? You can't first say members of parliament are immoral, but the president is okay to sit a caucus and give snow and whatever, and you find no moral question. Right Honorable Speaker, I come from a rural constituency. My constituency as the vice chairman of NRM. President Yoweri Museveni has never lost in that constituency. And the people of Tambala have always voted NRM. I'm the only first opposition representative from that area. But the people of Butambala unanimously said enough is enough. Not driven by hate or fear, not driven by any hate to President Yoweri Museveni. They are simply saying that for all they have not seen is a peaceful transfer of power from one individual to another. And that's what they want to see. This parliament is engaging in a very high-risk game.
Honorable Oguzu Namaya Njambaju. I'm coming close.
Right Honorable Speaker, I stand here not only to pursue the dreams of our people, but I stand here to proclaim the voices of the people of Maracha who think what this bill seeks to achieve is to impose life presidents on them. The people of Maracha I represent think this is a bill which will go down in our history as the most immoral, the most irrational, one bent on entrenching a clan rule in this country. For far too long, Ugandans have been used as a ladder for other people to climb to their destiny, and the people of Maracha have come to realize this. Madam Speaker, we had a man called Idi Amin who declared himself as a life president, and the result was war. And we have people who have connived. They have hatched a plan to rule Uganda for several years, and they think they must use other people to legitimize this process. We are saying no. We recognize that a man with bread in his mouth will never acknowledge the sovereignty of famine. whatever we are doing now will either give a blank check, whatever we are doing now will either usher a lasting peace or destroy this country forever. But we, as the people of West Nile, we, the people of Maracha, think we will make the right choice. I know everybody is in dilemma, and Israelis were in the same dilemma when they complained to Joshua what they must do. And Joshua asked them, what do you want me to do? As for me and my family, I've chosen to serve the Lord. My colleagues, today you must declare who you want to serve. You want to serve the life presence of an individual, or you want to serve the people of Uganda. The lion has been tied. You will untie it through your vote today. And the world is watching. We all held the Bible to proclaim that we will defend the Republic of Uganda. We will defend the Constitution of Uganda. God never lies. You will either call the wrath of God upon you today by voting yes, or you stand with the people. I want to say finally,
Namayanja, conclude your sentence, close your sentence, close your sentence. Conclude.
I want to say finally, this has been the most expensive regime to maintain. They have thrived on the blood of everybody. And if you choose that you want them to continue to impoverish others, to make themselves rich, to make Ugandans slaves in their own country, we are walking out of Uganda. Thank you.
Then we shall go to Honorable Donga Oto, Honorable Badiri Katari.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I represent the views of the people of Bukoto East. Right Honorable Speaker, Bukoto East is a constituency with 3 sub-counties and 17 parishes. Right Honorable Speaker, when you sent us to go and consult, I've visited and consulted from each and every corner of my constituency. In fact, one of the parishes, to access some villages in Kanywa, you have to go through Bukoto Central. So I also consulted from the people of Bukoto Central. And the people of Bukoto East, this is their voice. I thank you so much that you gave us an opportunity to go and consult. But what was lacking, Madam Speaker, was the way to come back and account for these consultations. Because people are not laying evidence from the consultations they've made. These are the facts. The people of Bukoto East are saying that we should not amend Article 102P of the Constitution. They also went ahead to say that even Article 26 of the Constitution should remain untouched. Therefore, Madam Speaker, it is important that all that what we need in the Constitution to be amended should be the responsibility of government bringing comprehensively whatever we want to see in the Constitution, discuss it, and the people of Uganda make their pronouncement by providing a Constitutional Review Commission. Madam Speaker, I'm surprised yesterday when the MP for Lwengo, Honorable Mbabali, came here to deceive Ugandans that the people of Lwengo accepted. When we witnessed, I was there, I witnessed when you are being chased by stones that you should not touch. You have misrepresented the people of Masaka, you have misrepresented the people of Lwengo, Bukoto South. Madam Speaker, even the people of Bukoto Central. Ora Mbaju, then Oto, Babadiri.
Madam Speaker, I come here to add my voice to my colleagues who have spoken before, objecting to the majority report and supporting the minority. I also thank you, Madam Speaker, for facilitating us to go to our constituencies to consult. I consulted in the 6 sub-counties in Busongora South. The people of Busongora South told me that I should come and stand with them and say no touching the Constitution. Madam Speaker, I want to mention that this is a very serious matter that we should debate with reason, because it determines the destiny of and the future of this country. If we mishandle this amendment, this country may go back into turmoil that we may not easily handle. I am one of those people who believe in the security of this country, who believe that Uganda must remain secure. But from the debate which is going on, I've realized that people just speak about security, but don't mind about the causes of insecurity. President Museveni has told us before, in his book, The Mustard Seed, that one of the causes of conflict and insecurity, which manifested before, was overstaying in power. And the people he talked about was President Milton Obote, who did not spend the 2 terms, 14 years. The other was Amin, who only spent 9 years. But for him, he has been in power for 32. Now that they are going to become 35, he needs more. And at that time, to him, he thinks it is not delaying in power. And if we all think as he thinks, then this country is about to go into trouble. I will stand with the people of Uganda, the majority, who say that this amendment must not go through. And I'm going to vote a no. And I also object to the proposal that the term of members of parliament should be extended. I have a contract for 5 years. As a person with a legal background, once you have entered into a contract with a person, unless the 2 of you agree to amend, one person cannot amend it. And therefore, I will not support that. And I call upon you, my colleagues who are seated on the other side that are proposing that we should actually amend, to change your mind. This is the time to decide for Uganda. I thank you.
Honorable Oto, Babadiri, then Katari.
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I first want to put all those who tortured us on notice that when the regime changes, we shall get you. So all those SFCs who entered Parliament, we have your pictures, we have your names. You can hide under the regime, but we shall get you. It's a matter of time. My first point is, those who think age is discriminatory, why can't you have Jero Moses Ali being the presidential candidate? Because you can see how they are struggling to keep alive. why we put age in the constitution is that when you grow old, your body gives way. You give room for others who are young to come on board. NRM MPs, I'm cautioning you. You think you are doing a good thing. That is why you are hurried to ask government to give all of you police protection. If you are doing a good thing, why would you ask for police from the NRM caucus? Why? If it is a popular idea, why would you ask for police? Madam Speaker, I would want to say, I've been here 4 terms, and we are very few. We are about 7 who have been here for that number of time. I want to assure you, NRM MPs, you are committing treason. You are not representing the views of your people for personal reasons. You have a right to do that, but I want to assure you, anyone over 75 years is not very productive to Uganda. I have a minister who fired his driver. I don't want to mention his name. The driver is 27 years. 2 weeks later, he had a separation with the wife. And the wife went straight to settle in the same house with the driver. Which means the young driver was assisting the minister doing marital responsibility. Madam Speaker, we should not be intimidated. Article 260 of the Constitution says Ugandans can hold a referendum on anything. We are going to ask for a referendum at an appropriate time so that we vote whether we be in Uganda or not. We shall send our ambassador to Uganda. And we shall raise another flag without shame. Because we have tried these people since 1987, it looks like we cannot manage now. So we rather concede and raise another flag on the other side of the Nile. This one we shall ask for a formal referendum, the same way it was held for Bongangaizi, for the lost counties, so that we decide whether we want to continue to be part of this thing or to go and send to have another ambassador. We shall ask for a referendum at an appropriate time. On the issue of 7 years, I personally have no problem. My people love me so much. They don't even mind me being here for more than 7 years. Personally. They even want to vote for me now. But their problem is people like Magezi and Anita should not be in this house for more than 7 years.
Ona Babadiri. Conclude.
In conclusion, these NRM people sold Naitil, sold Uganda Railway, they sold Union, they closed Mulko and Pamba, they closed Kilembe Mine, they sold Zambia Police Barracks land, they sold Shimoni land, they sold CMI land, they closed Lanes Marketing and Cough Marketing Board. Now, you old people, what do you want to leave for Uganda? Because I'm the young generation. You are selling everything. So I would urge the people of Aru, say no, but other than that, we shall cross other constituencies to make sure those who say yes don't come back to this house. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Ona Babadiri.
Give me another. Is that fine? Okay, thank you. Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to contribute to this very important debate. Margaret Babadiri, woman member of Parliament for Koboko District. I would like to thank the committee for the comprehensive report they have given to us. Madam Speaker, I represent all the people of Koboko District. And I'm the right person to give the true picture of what people of Koboko want. Madam Speaker, I carried out extensive consultation in all the 6 sub-counties and the municipality, including the leadership. And I'd like to inform you that it was the most peaceful consultation where people debated freely, including even the opposition. They were all there. they talked. I said, what I want is we want to get the true views of our people. And at the end of, including Koboko municipalities, at the end of the day, we voted. You find that about 10% of people did not support the removal, 10%. And 10% only. And they told me that please represent our views, even how few we are, but that is our view. I must inform Parliament. But the 90% support the removal of the age limit. Yes, they are impressed. They said, it's good we have removed the lower term limit and the upper term limit. Actually, in the last election, we lost a person who could represent us very well in LC3, but because he was 29 years old, he was disqualified. So people say, let us remove this block so that our young people who are capable can stand and can be elected at the LC3 level, LC5 level, and even at the president level if they can. Then when it comes to the upper limit, I said, what are your reasons for removing the age limit? They said, without fear, they say, we want to see that the old people, they have the wisdom, they have the understanding, they are the ones who can lead the country, they are still strong. And specifically, they mentioned His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, who has been leading us for the last 30 years.
Honorable Mongi, Dr. Mongi. Yes. Amongi.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker.
Amongi, we are here.
Hey.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, in 1995, the people debated this article. I want to quote from one person, Lieutenant Colonel Kizza Besigye, NRA delegate. Mr. Chairman, first of all, maybe I should mention that I was supporting the minority report. We have said that power belongs to the people. We can only act on their behalf when they are not around. We can act, and to that extent, we can represent them and take the decision. Therefore, I think it will be unfair of us, having taken the fundamental decision that this will be a direct one-to-one-man decision of the people of Uganda, to now limit them as if they cannot take a decision themselves at that stage. We should respect the sovereignty of Uganda, and I do not think we should engage in putting age limit here. I agree with him. Dr. Kizza Besigye, 1995, answered of the delegates. I can repeat, he concluded, we should respect the sovereignty of Uganda, and I do not think we should engage in putting age limit here. I support the deletion. That was Dr. Kizza Besigye. I have consulted the people for Yam South that I represent, and I did open consultation. I am glad that I was on NTV with my consultation, and my people have said I should come and touch. Madam Speaker,
in the USA. When there was presidential election in the USA, I was supporting Hillary Clinton. My husband was supporting Bernie Sanders, and Bernie Sanders was 74, and Hillary Clinton was 69. And the argument for me, which I agreed at that time, which many young people at that time were supporting Sanders. For most of you who watched the primaries of the Democratic Party, the oldest person was Bernie Sanders.
Now, Katari. Ona Katari.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker, for giving this opportunity. I represent Jinja District with 12 sub-counties, and I managed to carry out consultations in 7 out of the 12. Circumstances beyond my control forced me to abandon some consultations. Right Honourable Speaker, I'll use no where a sub-county said no and yes for a constitutional amendment. Mafudira sub-county said no. Budondo no, Butagara yes, Bwenge Tankanka no, Bwenge Ruro yes, Buyengo no, Busede no. Right Honourable Speaker, the reasons advanced for not touching the Constitution mainly concern poor service delivery. The road from Ambakot through Budondo to Mbulamuti, I was told that it was there even when, the President has played that said for a very long time, so the people of Budondo said they are fed up of that. There is a road from Mayuke, Busede, Buyengo, Muguluka, through Namagera. That road has taken lots of lives, and therefore those people said no. Youth unemployment. We have many universities in this country. We are bringing out graduates every day, but these youth are not employed. So they said no to the constitutional amendment. Right now, Speaker, the health sector is in poor state. We have forest reserves in Jinja, and right now, Speaker, around 16 villages were evicted recently by the National Forest Authority, including 8 villages in Busede sub-county and 9 in Utagaya sub-county, and they were not even allowed to harvest their crops. These are an issue which was of a good contention. Right now, Speaker, the elderly in Jinja don't benefit from the SAGE program. And most of them were like, we are retired, we agreed to sit this side, but if you are not giving us the money, then the Constitution not be amended. Right now, Speaker, we have the Lakwena victims in Jinja District. This concerns 2 sub-counties of Busede and Buyengo. Some payments were made out recently. It was either made to the wrong people or majority of the people are not paid, so most of them said no. Jinja is known for sugarcane growing. Right now, Speaker, the time I conducted the consultation, the price per ton had gone down, so reduction in cash inflow meant no to the constitutional amendment. Madvan had also laid out quite a number of people, and this.
Honour members, 124 members have contributed, and the next stage requires 7 hours. So now put the question that the question be put. Those in favor say aye, the contrary no. Honour members, I'll suspend for 30 minutes to allow the clerk to arrange for the second phase.